Chapter 715. However, it was not a small matter to hire a teacher for Xiaobao. She'd better think it over before making a decision. Since second senior brother was in the capital now, it would be convenient for her to ask him out for a chat. In addition to Xiaobao, she had too many questions to ask him when they arrived at the apartment building. The three got out of the car. From the corner of her eye, Xianxia suddenly saw a familiar figure walking into the apartment, so she hurriedly shouted at the person, "Hey, Lu Jingli!" In front of her, Lu Jingli was tossing the car key up and down and humming a song as he was about to enter the door. When he heard someone calling him, he subconsciously stopped and turned around. The next second, the car key in his hand fell to the ground, and then he covered his eyes with his hands. What the fuck? What did I see? My eyes are blind. He saw an extremely cute and Lolita Little Red Riding Hood waving at him. Beside Little Red Riding Hood was a little gray wolf and a big gray wolf. Little Red Riding Hood was little Cece. The little gray wolf was Xiaobao, and the big gray wolf was actually his brother. And on the roof of the car behind the three of them, there was a huge bear cub tied to it. What a magical scene it was. It was simply indescribable with words. Are you guys crazy? Lu Jingli still couldn't believe his eyes, especially when he saw his furry brother with long ears on top of his head and a tail behind his butt. Xianxia took off the little red riding hood on her head and rolled her eyes at him. Don't make a fuss. It's just a costume party at Xiaobao's school, okay? Huh? Costume party. Is this the parent-child activity that my brother mentioned? Even if it's a costume party, it's too exaggerated, isn't it? Can't you just pay some paper and draw some beards? Xianxia looked contemptuous. What do you know? It's Xiaobao's first parent-child activity. How can you be so casual? Lu Jingli's mouth twitched as he looked at his brother. I give up. You're going to wear this? What if she goes crazy and asks you to wear women's clothes? Xianxia's eyes suddenly lit up. Uh-huh. The devil dressed in women's clothes? I'm really looking forward to it. Then what the hell is this bear? Xianxia patted the bear's head proudly. We won the most popular award. This is the prize. Am I handsome? Lu Jingli burst into tears. The way you show your love is getting more and more inhumane. Please let me go, okay? Who's showing off? You're the one who delivered yourself to me, okay? What are you doing here? Are you looking for me? Xianxia asked. Lu Jingli handed the document in his hand to Lu Tingxiao and said, I'm looking for my brother. There's a document that I need him to sign immediately. I knew that he would be with you. Just now, his phone was busy and I couldn't get through to him, so I came here directly. The line was busy and I couldn't get through. There was no need to ask. It must be because the teacher had been frantically calling Lu Tingxiao, asking him to save the day. Lu Tingxiao stretched out his paw, gesturing for Lu Jingli to give him a pen. Lu Jingli looked at the furry paw, then at the wolf ears on his brother's head and the wolf tail behind him. Then he suddenly howled and pounced on Lu Tingxiao to hug him. Oh, whoa, brother, you're so cute. Fuck, how can my brother be so cute? This doesn't make sense. Lu Tingxiao's face darkened. She was going to change her clothes as soon as she got back, but who knew she would run into Lu Jingli? Chapter 716. After going upstairs, Lu Tingxiao and Xiaobao went to change clothes. Xianxia couldn't wait to turn on the computer to see the follow-up development of Hu Hongda's matter. Hu Hongda's latest Weibo post was from 3 hours ago, which was not long after she and Lu Tingxiao left the restaurant. The content was to inform the reporters to hold a press conference in a hotel. The efficiency was really high. He was probably scared witless by the great Demon King. At present, there was already a live video of the press conference on the internet, and it had become a hot topic. She hurriedly clicked on it. Reporter, Boss Hu, is what you said on Weibo true? Hu Hongda. It's true. Reporter, then why did you post on Weibo to clarify the truth? Hu Hongda, because I suddenly don't want to lie to my wife anymore, and I don't want to involve innocent people anymore. This time, I am sincerely repentant to my wife and apologize to everyone. Hu Hongda naturally didn't have the guts to say that Lu Tingxiao threatened him, so he pretended to find a dignified reason for himself. Unfortunately, The public would not forgive him so easily this time. This Weibo post was reposted over 10,000 times, and it continued to rise. The comment section was also completely blown up. Fuck me. What was going on? Wasn't the third party Ningxi? How did it become Fangya? Hu Hongda deliberately slandered Ningxi in order to protect Fangya? You city people really know how to have fun. I'm dumbfounded. The plot changes too quickly. I can't keep up with the pace. What the fuck? Ningxi was too pitiful. Wasn't this the same as getting shot while lying down? And he had been scolded for so long for nothing. Just an apology, and it's over? Are you kidding me? What do you mean he suddenly doesn't want to deceive his wife anymore and doesn't want to implicate innocent people? I think he was found out and had no choice but to come out to clarify himself and put on a show. This man is too despicable. God is Fong Fong. Please don't be soft-hearted and forgive me this time. In fact, I shouldn't have forgiven you last time. I think Fangya is the most despicable one. She must have come up with this wicked idea. It was said that she didn't get along with Ningxi when she was on the set. This is too vicious. I suddenly realized that Ningxi is so pitiful. Isn't it just because she's a little beautiful? I'm always labeled as a vixen. Ningxi smiled bitterly as she watched. Was it a blessing in disguise for her? What if someone wanted to smear such dirty water on her in the future? Then the fans wouldn't believe it so easily, right? Meanwhile, right below Ningxi, in Ning Shuiluo's apartment. Shuiluo, save me. Please save me, ah. Fang Yaju only had this sentence left. Ning Shuiluo's computer was playing the video of Hu Hongda's press conference. Her face twitched, and she almost lost control of herself. How could this be? Impossible. Ningxi was definitely going to die this time. Why did things turn out this way? Xiaoya, what did you do? Why would Hu Hongda do such a thing? That doesn't make sense. Ning Shuiluo said agitatedly. I don't know. I really don't know. I follow the method you taught me from the beginning to the end. I sent a text to Ming Fong Fong and then waited for the news at home. I thought they were going to get a divorce, but I didn't expect him to post that Weibo and expose me. After that, Lin Jiji also directly exposed the matter between me and him on the internet. I called him, but I couldn't get through until now. Chapter 717. Ning Shuiluo's face darkened, and she said, something must have happened when Ningxi asked him to meet her. Could it be that Ningxi seduced him and made him do this? Ning Shuiluo said impatiently. Do you know how big the impact of this is? And it was a public press conference. Hu Hongda has been disgraced. No matter how capable Ningxi is, she wouldn't make Hu Hongda do this. What else could it be? Fangya said helplessly. Could it be that Ming Fong Fong found out the truth and forced him to do this? Ning Shuiluo thought. Although this reason was also far-fetched, she couldn't think of any other reason. Then what should I do now? Shuiluo, you can't leave me alone. I'm completely screwed now. A trace of disgust flashed across Ning Shuiluo's eyes. She just wanted to get rid of Fangya, but she was afraid that Fangya would bite her. So she said, you've been forced to this point. Since you can't contact him, just go to his house and make a scene. Even if he doesn't care about you, his parents won't care about you. Yes, why didn't I think of that? Even if I lose everything, I still have the baby in my belly. His mother wants to have a grandson so much. Fangya's eyes were suddenly filled with hope. In the evening, at the entrance of the Hu mansion. Young madam, you can't go. Fa Fong, what are you doing? Let's talk about this. What's wrong with you? Honey, don't go. I beg you. Please forgive me this time. I'll do anything you want me to do. Ming Fong Fong looked gloomily at her husband who used to love her deeply and her mother-in-law who had always treated her as her own mother. Mom, I'm not making a fuss. I'm really tired. I'm sorry. I've decided to divorce. Fong Fong, do you want me to kneel before you to change your mind? Mrs. Hu said and was about to kneel before her. Ming Fong Fong hurried to help her up. Mom, don't do this. I can't accept it. Mrs. Hu slapped Hu Hongda's face. Bastard, kneel before Fong Fong. Hu Hongda knelt on the ground without hesitation. Honey, if you don't forgive me, I will kneel for the rest of my life. Honey, I really know I was wrong. I can't live without you. Fong Fong, please give Hongda a chance. If he dares to do it again in the future, I will be the first to not let him off. Even though he knew in the depths of his heart that they wanted him to stay because the company was in a critical situation and urgently needed the Ming family's help. After all, they had been husband and wife for so many years. In the end, his heart could not bear to part. At this moment, Ming Fongfong's eyes flashed with a hint of struggle. Mom, perhaps after going through this disaster, he would really change? After all, he was the man she had loved for so many years at this time. A woman's voice came from behind. Hongda. Ming Fongfong turned around, and her face turned pale. Fangya, seeing that Ming Fongfong was about to change her mind, Fangya suddenly ran over. Hu Hongda wanted to strangle her. He ran over angrily and raised his hand. Who allowed you to come here? Fangya was not afraid at all. Instead, she moved forward and said, Fight. Hit me then. Kill him along with the child in my womb. Anyway, I've been cornered by you, and I don't want to live anymore. But my poor child was abandoned before he was born. Abandoned by his own father. Chapter 718. Hu Hongda looked at Fangya's slightly protruding belly, and his expression changed for a moment. At this time, Madame Hu, who was behind them, rushed forward and protected Fangya. She said nervously, You can't do that. Is this the woman outside? Hu Hongda's face was pale, and he nodded with a muffled hum. Mrs. Hu stared at Fangya's belly and reached out to touch it. Oh, the belly is pointed. It must be a boy. Fangya looked proud. Auntie, you have good eyesight. I have checked in the private hospital, and the doctor said it is a boy. Take a look at this medical report from the hospital. A boy is good. A boy is good. Mrs. Hu took the report and looked at it again and again. Her face was red. How many months has it been? It seems to be more than 4 months. Hu Hongda said. What do you mean? Yes. Don't you know what you have done? Fangya said angrily. Ming Fongfong, who was completely ignored, looked at the 3 people in front of her quietly. At this moment, there was no expression on her face. Mrs. Hu finally remembered that Ming Fongfong was still there. She hurried to greet her and said, Fongfong, don't worry. You are my only daughter-in-law. I will never let this woman marry into our family. Fangya was about to make a scene when she heard this, but she restrained herself. The old lady's attitude was very clear just now. She didn't believe that she could bear this child. Sure enough, then Mrs. Hu changed her tone, but the child in her belly is Hongda's flesh and blood. There are 3 ways to be unfilial, and the worst is to have no descendants. You have been married for so many years, but you have not given birth to a son or daughter for Hongda. I really have no choice. How can I explain to Hongda's father and ancestors in the underworld after I die? So how about this? He had to give birth to this child. After it is born, I will bring it to you. As for this woman, we will give her some money. She has done a meritorious service for giving birth to a son for the Hu family. Ming Fongfong's knuckles turned white while holding the suitcase. Oh, let her raise the child of this mistress? This mistress had done a meritorious service for giving birth to a son for the Hu family. Fangya rolled her eyes. Give her money? It would be best if they could marry into the family. But in this situation, the Hu family had to rely on the Ming family, so a divorce was basically impossible. If they could get a large sum of money, that was fine too. However, it was said that the Hu family was about to go bankrupt. Could they afford it? It's fine. Ming Fongfong has money anyway. She had given birth to a son for nothing. Moreover, Ming Fongfong couldn't give birth to a child. In the future, the Hu family's assets would all belong to her son. Ming Fongfong calmly raised her head and looked at Hu Hongda. Hongda, what do you think? Seeing Ming Fongfong's calm expression, Hu Hongda thought that she might have accepted it. He said hesitantly, I agree with Mom. Didn't you mention that you wanted to find a surrogate? How great was it now? It saved him a lot of trouble. I can't bear to see you suffer from childbirth, my wife. Fangya took the opportunity to say with an aggrieved face, although I don't want to leave the baby and Hongda. I don't want to put Hongda in a difficult position. I will leave after giving birth to the baby. Hearing this, Ming Fongfong nodded and said, Very good. Hu Hongda, Madame Hu, and Fangya were all delighted to hear this. Fongfong, you agree? In the next second, A white car drove to the entrance of the Hu family's house. A chauffeur-like person opened the door and hurriedly walked out to take the luggage from Ming Fongfong's hands. "Miss." Ming Fongfong handed the luggage to him, then opened the door and got into the car without looking back. Hu Hongda was dumbfounded. Wife, what are you doing?" Ming Fongfong's gaze swept over him and Fanya quietly. "You don't have to be so aggrieved and give in to me. I will fulfill your wish." "Lao Zhan drive." "Yes, miss." Chapter 719. Ning, she called Lin Jiji while watching the public opinion on the internet. She had been in a hurry to go to school, so she just sent a text message to Lin Jiji, telling her that the matter had been settled and she could publish what she had found. "Hello, Sister Jiji. Ningxi, are you done? Did you see the video of the press conference?" "I saw it. This matter should be completely settled now, right? Do you have any other questions?" "Yes, don't worry," Lin Jiji said hesitantly. Ningxi, she obviously wanted to ask how Ningxi had made Hu Hongda clarify it in person. "Sister Jiji, don't worry. I didn't use any illegal methods, nor did I do anything against my principles. Lu Jingli was the one who settled it. As for how he negotiated with the other party, I'm not too sure." Ningxi decisively pushed the blame onto Lu Jingli. This guy was quite useful at times like this. Hearing Ningxi's answer, Lin Jiji guessed that she might have asked Lu Jingli for help, but she still had some doubts. After all, such a big scandal had a great impact on Hu Hongda. Even Lu Jingli couldn't make him do this. This time, Hu Hongda was completely humiliated. Not only that, but the company's stock also plummeted. During the press conference, Hu Hongda's attitude was a bit strange. He tried to clarify that it had nothing to do with Ningxi and kept apologizing to her in front of the camera. She didn't know how Lu Jingli did it. Thinking of this, Lin Jiji's secret worry came to her mind again. Even if Ningxi and Lu Jingli had a good relationship in private, would they be too close? Lu Jingli had poached many people in person before, but he had never been so attentive to anyone. If the two of them developed into that kind of relationship. Ningxi was talking to Lin Jiji when she suddenly felt her whole body hanging in the air. She was startled. "Ningxi, what's wrong?" Lin Jiji asked hurriedly. Ningxi glared at Lu Tingxiao, who suddenly picked her up and hurriedly replied to Lin Jiji. "I'm fine. I almost dropped the cup." "That's good. I have to go. We'll talk about other things in detail when you come to the company." Okay. Bye, Sister Jiji." Ningxi hurriedly hung up. "Lu Tingxiao, what are you doing?" Lu Tingxiao didn't say anything. He carried her and walked straight to the bed. Ningxi looked up at Lu Tingxiao and blinked quickly. "Big Bad Wolf, are you going to eat Little Red Riding Hood?" Lu Tingxiao glanced at her and placed her on the bed. Then he lifted her skirt. Ningxi's heart skipped a beat, and she subconsciously shrank back. "Damn, Lu Tingxiao, are you serious? Cough, this isn't too good, right? Xiaobao is still here." Lu Tingxiao looked at the extremely cute girl in the puffy skirt and red cloak, and his eyes darkened. "Is it okay if little treasure isn't here?" Ningxi, she had fallen into her own trap. Lu Tingxiao continued to push the skirt up, and Ningxi panicked. Before she could stop him, Lu Tingxiao had directly lifted the hem of her skirt. Then she saw that the wound on Ningxi's thigh was bleeding from the gauze. She covered her face and wailed, "I'm dead meat." Chapter 720. Damn it. How'd this guy find out? When she kicked him earlier, she clearly used one leg to kick him. Okay? Could it be that he had X-ray vision? She made a mistake. If he had known this would happen, he would have treated his wound as soon as he came back. In the end, he left behind such obvious evidence of his crime why is the wound bleeding? I didn't find it. I was so careful today and didn't move around. You only used one foot to beat people. Was it because you accidentally slipped in the snow before? Ningxi decided to play dumb until the end. But when she saw Lu Tingxiao's expression, she knew that he must have known it. So she decisively gave up struggling. I was wrong. Lu Tingxiao looked at the bright red gauze and frowned. "Where's the first aid kit?" he asked. Ningxi didn't dare to breathe and said, "In the cupboard." Lu Tingxiao got up and took the medicine box from the cupboard. He carefully tore open the gauze. and sure enough, the wound burst open. Although she kicked with one foot, it didn't mean that the other foot didn't bear the force. On the contrary, the stronger the strength of the one foot, the tighter the muscles of the other foot had to be in order to stabilize the lower body. In this case, the wound was likely to be torn. Lu Tingxiao saw that she was still alive after kicking, so he thought she was fine. Besides, he couldn't lift her skirt to check, so he had to wait until she got home. However, the sudden check, as he expected, the wound still burst open. At this moment, Ningxi pressed the bottom of her skirt to avoid being exposed. She was wearing a pair of half-length white socks that reached above her knees. There was also a beautiful lace edge to the socks. With the contrast of her snow-white skin and the bright red blood, this scene was indescribably seductive. Ouch! When a medicine touched the wound, Ningxi shivered in pain, but she didn't dare to make a sound. How could she dare to make a sound? Although Lu Tingxiao didn't speak, his movements were obviously lighter. His fingers accidentally touched her skin, and her back looked a little stiff. Lu Tingxiao breathed a sigh of relief after he finished applying the medicine. He prepared to wrap the gauze. Lift your leg a little. Oh. Ningxi obediently bent her knees and lifted her thighs. Lu Tingxiao meticulously wrapped the gauze in circles. His face was as cold as frost from beginning to end. Ningxi was a little flustered and weakly pointed at her fingers. Boss, what are you thinking about? Don't be so quiet. Lu Tingxiao tidied up the medical box while glancing at her and said without any expression, I'm thinking of breaking your other leg as well. Perhaps it'll be faster for you to recover. She couldn't run anymore. She should stop now, right? That way, you wouldn't have to jump around with only one leg. Ningxi was dumbfounded and said with a sad face, I don't think your idea is very good. It's too cruel. No wonder it was the great Demon King's idea. At this moment, Xiao Bao, who had finished treating his wounds and changed his clothes, ran over. Ningxi immediately hugged Xiao Bao and complained, Steamed bun, I was scolded by your papa. When Xiao Bao heard this, he immediately looked at Lu Tingxiao solemnly. Lu Tingxiao said, she was injured in the fight today. Xiao Bao immediately turned back to Ningxi with a serious face. Ningxi became listless. Well, it's my fault. Xiao Bao drooped his head, feeling that he was also at fault. For the first time, the little guy knew that sometimes he shouldn't listen to his mother. Lu Tingxiao looked at his son's expression and knew that he was finally reflecting. It wasn't easy. Chapter 721. It was a snowy day today, so it was perfect to eat hot pot. It was a pity that she was injured and couldn't eat spicy food, so she could only make a clear soup base. Lu Tingxiao was busy from washing the vegetables to making the soup base. Ningxi sat there obediently and didn't dare to move a step. Lu Tingxiao looked at the girl, sitting obediently like a primary school student, and a sincere expression on her face that said, I won't do it again next time. Obviously, he wasn't that easy to fool. Every time this girl admitted her mistake, she was very clean and her attitude was abnormally good. But next time, she would still do it, without hesitation. Oh yes, Xiao Bao, Mom will find you a master to teach you how to fight. Ah, Pooey, teach you martial arts, okay? While eating, Ningxi asked for Xiao Bao's opinion. Xiao Bao tilted his head in inquiry. Martial arts? Yes, yes. This way, if you encounter someone bullying you in the future, you can protect yourself. You can also protect Mom. Ningxi explained. Hearing the last sentence, Xiao Bao nodded decisively. Good boy. Ningxi patted Xiao Bao's head happily, but it might be very hard and tiring, and you can't give up halfway. Xiao Bao nodded seriously. He wasn't afraid of hardship. After getting Xiao Bao's approval, Ningxi looked at Lu Tingxiao. Then when I have time, I will go talk to Tang Lang. Okay. So, this matter was settled. Fortunately, Xiao Bao's body had been much better under her care. Otherwise, she really couldn't bear to let him suffer. But, for Xiao Bao's future, she still had to steal her heart. After dinner, although she was very reluctant, Ningxi still let Lu Tingxiao take Xiao Bao home. Because she was getting busier and busier recently, she had to go to the company early tomorrow morning. If Xiao Bao continued to stay at her place, it wouldn't be very convenient. Fortunately, it was very easy to see Xiao Bao now. Seeing the adult and the child get into the car, Ningxi finally breathed a sigh of relief. She finally sent the big bad wolf away and dodged this disaster. Just as she was rejoicing, the door on the driver's side opened for some reason. Lu Tingxiao got out of the car and walked towards her. Lord Boss, what's wrong? Did you forget something? And Lu Tingxiao nodded. Then, without warning, he wrapped his arms around her waist and leaned over to kiss her lips. Ouch, it hurts. Then, there was a sharp pain on her lips. She covered her mouth with an accusatory look. Why did you bite me? Lu Tingxiao tapped her lower lip with his fingertip and looked at her darkly. This is your punishment. Fuck. I knew it wouldn't be that easy to escape this calamity. She narrowed her eyes, suddenly pulled down Lu Tingxiao's neck, and took the initiative to kiss him. Then, she pressed her lips against his thin and cold lips, and under the man's slightly surprised gaze, she said softly, If this is a punishment, isn't that forcing me to make a mistake? As soon as he finished speaking, Lu Tingxiao felt a cluster of flames rise from his lower abdomen and spread throughout his entire body. His palm abruptly increased its strength and pinched the girl's waist tightly, as if he wished to rub her into his bones and blood. He said in an extremely dangerous tone, Don't provoke me. She was very obedient. She immediately took a few steps back and waved her hand with an innocent expression. Ahem, I'm just kidding. I really don't dare to do it again. Hurry up and go. Don't let Xiao Bao wait for you. Ningxi, get well soon. Lu Tingxiao stared at her and finally left after saying this. Ningxi looked at the black car that left and pondered the devil's last words. She always felt, well, something was wrong. Somehow, she had a feeling that she would be eaten as soon as she got well. Chapter 722. In Chang Li's office at Starlight Entertainment, Ning Xiuelaw threw the newspaper in her hand at Chang Li's face. Useless. The headline on the front page read, In-Depth Revelation. Hu Hongda's affair turns out to be Ning Xiuelaw. Hu Hongda's affair, which started the night before yesterday, was still fermenting. However, the public opinion had unknowingly turned in another direction. In addition to keyboard warriors and diehard fans, there were also a large number of rational fans and smart people behind the scenes. After the incident calmed down a little, some people began to analyze the whole thing. They didn't know what was going on, but when they did, they found that the whole thing was not as simple as it seemed. On the surface, it seemed that Fangya had a conflict with Ningxi and the crew, so she chose Ningxi to frame her. However, once Ningxi's reputation was ruined, the biggest and most direct beneficiary of the incident was Ning Xiuelaw. In addition, Ningxi was very popular at that time. Even Ning Xiuelaw, the female lead, was overshadowed by her. Ning Xiuelaw's fans went to make trouble, but they lost to Jiang Mai's fans. Then there began to be groundless rumors on the internet, saying that Ningxi was Hu Hongda's mistress. Finally, Hu Hongda posted on Weibo himself, was this series of events really just a coincidence? Was Ningxi herself just too unlucky? Could it be that Fangya was ordered by Ning Xiuelaw to do this? It was said that the two of them had a good relationship. There were many conspiracy theories on the internet. So many people naturally thought of this. Not only that, even Ning Xiuelaw, who had been low-key for a long time and tried hard to suppress the stain of wronging Ningxi, was dug up again. It was suspected that her assistant was actually ordered by Ningxi. What the hell are you doing? How could you let this kind of thing spread? Even in newspapers. Ning Xiuelaw was furious. Well, you can't blame me for this. You were so confident that there would be no problem, so I didn't pay much attention to it. Who knew that things would become like this overnight? Of course, I'm sure that I won't be caught. If they had evidence, do you think I would still be standing here scolding you? The point is that this kind of statement doesn't need evidence at all. Should I sue those newspapers for libel? This won't do. The wording of the newspaper is too strict, and the full text is ambiguous. As for the ones on the internet, it's even more impossible to sue. Try to delete all related posts on the internet. If the newspaper can't take it down, then forget about it. Hurry up and take care of the other newspaper agencies. At the same time, Ningxi came to the company with a bunch of beautiful kikyu. Lin Jiji was immersed in her work. When she heard the knock on the door, she said without looking up, "Come in." The sound of footsteps could be heard, and then a large bunch of bright and glistening light green platycodon came into view along with a fresh fragrance. Lin Jiji was a little startled. "This," Ningxi smiled brightly at her. "Sister Jiji, this is for you." Lin Jiji took it with a smile. "Thank you." She couldn't remember how long it had been since she last received flowers. Looking at the fresh bouquet and the girl's smiling face, even the exhaustion from a day and night of sleepless nights was swept away. "By the way, Sister Jiji, when I was browsing Weibo this morning, I saw that many people suspected that Ning Shulaw had something to do with Hu Hongda's incident. A few mainstream media outlets also published the news. You should have contributed to this, right? Actually, I also thought about it at that time, but I didn't have any evidence." Chapter 723. Lin Jiji pondered. Sometimes we don't need evidence. The netizens are not fools. We just need to guide them a little. If it happens once, it might be a coincidence. But if it happens a third time, what will the netizens think? No matter how clean she is, she won't be able to get away with it. As long as we gradually destroy Ning Shui's kind and weak image in the eyes of the public, we won't be in a passive position again. Ningxi narrowed her eyes. Like 1,000 miles of dike can be destroyed by an ant's nest. Lin Jiji suddenly pulled open a drawer. "By the way, I have something for you." "What is it?" Ningxi took it and looked at it in surprise. "Car key." "Yes, the company gave it to you. The movie is about to be released, and you will need the car a lot during this period." "Holy crap, the company gave me a BMW? It was at least 1,000,000 yuan. Of course it can't be too shabby. Besides, you have done a good job. Not only did you get the world, but you also got 2 endorsements." "Thank you, Sister Jiji. Thank the company. I will do my best." Ningxi looked at the car key happily. "Sister Jiji, the movie promotion has come to an end. Do you have any other work to do? I was just about to tell you that the launch of Noble Perfume will be held at the Imperial Hotel at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Remember to be punctual." "Okay, and one more thing." "What?" "I'm thinking if I should let Tao live with you. It will be more convenient for her to take care of you." Lin Jiji said. Ningxi's heart skipped a beat. What if Lu Tingxiao bumped into her one day? Forget it. I can take care of myself. Actually, I'm already used to living alone. If there's another person, I might feel uncomfortable." "Okay." Lin Jiji didn't insist. Ningxi was relieved. As they were talking, there was a quick knock on the door. Then Lei Ming hurried in. "Jiji, Ningxi is here too." "Great. Have you seen Jiang Mai?" Ningxi shook her head. "No. What's wrong?" Lin Jiji also said, "I didn't see anything." Lei Ming looked like he was about to pass out. "Muyi has been missing for a day and a night. I can't get in touch with him. Is he hiding somewhere to play games again?" "Ning," she said. Lei Ming looked at the time on his watch and said anxiously, "At first, I thought so too. But this morning, he had a signing ceremony for a 10 million endorsement. I negotiated it for 3 months, but I still can't get in touch with him. Aren't you trying to kill me?" The corners of Ning Shi's mouth twitched. A 10 million endorsement, this prodigal. How long until the signing ceremony? Lin Jiji asked. "Only 2 hours left. I beg the 2 of you to help me think about it. Where could he possibly go? I've searched all the places he usually goes. There's no one." Ning Shi said helplessly. "Brother Ming, I really can't help you. You must know everything I know." After all, she had met Jiang Mai abroad, so she didn't know where he might go in China. "Jiji, I know you're busy. I beg you, please help me if this endorsement fails. Then I could just find a tree and hang myself." Lei Ming, who was almost 9 meters tall, had a pitiful expression on his face. Chapter 724. Ning Shi couldn't bear to see him like this. "Sister Jiji, why don't you help him?" Lin Jiji was silent for a while. Then she said, "I'm sorry, Brother Ming. The problem is that I don't know where to find him." Just as he finished speaking, Lei Ming actually fainted with a put-on sound. Ning Shi and Lin Jiji were both startled. It took them a lot of effort to help him to the sofa. "What should we do, Sister Jiji?" Ning Shi asked anxiously. A trace of struggle flashed across Lin Jiji's eyes. Finally, she said, "Take care of Brother Ming and call the ambulance. I'm going to find Jiang Mai." Okay, Ning Shi said. After Lin Jiji left, Ning Shi was about to call the ambulance when Lei Ming suddenly sat up on the sofa. She was almost scared out of her wits. "Fuck, what's going on? Ming, Brother Ming, you didn't faint?" Lei Ming looked at the door to make sure Lin Jiji was gone. Then he nodded. "Yes, I faked it. Otherwise, Jiji wouldn't help me." She was speechless. "You're too desperate." Lei Ming looked like he had nothing to live for. "Do you think I want to? It's all because of that guy. I don't know what happened to him recently. He's in a very bad mood, and he doesn't cooperate with me. He drove 3 assistants away in one day. I'm going crazy because of him." Lei Ming looked at Ning Shi thoughtfully. In fact, he suspected that it had something to do with Ning Shi. But Jiang Mai didn't say anything, so he wasn't sure. Ning Shi didn't notice Lei Ming's gaze. She said helplessly, "Damn it, I suddenly find that compared with Jiang Mai, I'm so obedient." Half an hour later, in a ruin on the outskirts of the city, Lin Jiji stepped on her high heels and crossed a small mountain of garbage. One of her heels was broken, and her ankle was even more swollen after being pushed by a security guard from Hu Hongda's company yesterday. Finally, she walked to an abandoned bus parked at the back. There was no time to waste. She panted and knocked on the car door, but it was quiet inside. There was no response. Thus, she stretched out her hand and gently pushed the door open. The seats in the car had been hollowed out and transformed into a house, with a pure white cashmere blanket under it. Lin Jiji took off her shoes and stepped on the soft carpet with her bare feet. After taking a few steps, she pushed open the cubicle door. Sure enough, Jiang Mai was lying on the bed, sleeping soundly with a big white pillow in his arms. Beside him were a bunch of beer bottles. The roof above the bed was hollowed out and replaced with glass. At this moment, the morning light was sprinkling down from there. The man's golden hair seemed to glow, just like his entire body. No matter where he was dazzling. She remembered that when Jiang Mai hollowed out the roof of the car, he said that he could see the stars above his head while lying in bed at night. At that time, Jiang Mai was really out of the world. He didn't want to live in a good home, but came to this damn place and turned an abandoned bus into his home. Whenever he had something to do, he would come here to think about life. Jiang Mai. Lin Jiji called out to Jiang Mai a few times, but he was in a deep sleep and didn't respond at all. Therefore, Lin Jiji bent over and whispered something in Jiang Mai's ear. The next second, Jiang Mai stood up as if he was having a seizure. "Fuck, who said that Xianxia Bai is more handsome than me? Are you blind?" Chapter 725. The next second, Jiang Mai, who had finally woken up, looked at Lin Jiji, who was standing by the bed with a dull look on his face. "Shit, how could it be you? I was wondering who could be so wicked as to wake me up in this way." Back then, Jiang Mai was the most handsome person in the entertainment circle. His biggest rival was Shun Xiaobai, and his fans often compared him with Shun Xiaobai. Therefore, the last thing he wanted to hear was that Shun Xiaobai was more handsome than him. Even if Shun Xiaobai had retired, this obsession was still deeply rooted in his mind. "Brother Ming has been looking for you for a day and a night. The signing ceremony will start in an hour and a half. This place is too far from the hotel. You only have less than half an hour to get there, and there is no traffic jam," Lin Jiji said quickly. "Oh, so what?" Jiang Mai lay back down and didn't want to get up at all. "Brother Ming has been helping you for 3 months. He even fainted in the company just now." And then, seeing Jiang Mai's attitude, Lin Jiji's expression didn't change at all. If it were in the past, she would have scolded him or even cried because of his attitude. At this time, a cell phone rang. It was Jiang Mai. "Hello, Brother Mai. Why did you run away last night? We're going to see today. Will you come?" It was a sweet woman's voice. Jiang Mai replied lazily, "Got it. I'll be there in an hour." Then he got up unhurriedly and was about to leave. Looking at Jiang Mai, Lin Jiji felt as if she had gone back in time. Back then, he was just like that, willful, selfish, and willful. The entire world revolved around him, and he never considered anyone else. What on earth made him become like that again? Jiang Mai was about to go out, but the next second, he was stunned. Lin Jiji took out her cell phone and called Ning Shi. Hello, Ning Shi. Hearing Ning Shi's name, Jiang Mai's face suddenly changed. He grabbed Lin Jiji's cell phone and hung up. His face was gloomy. Lin Jiji, what are you doing? Lin Jiji looked at him, asking her if Brother Ming is awake. What? What do you think I want to do? Jiang Mai threw the cell phone back to her with a dark face. I thought you were going to ask her to beat me. What else can I do? Lin Jiji didn't say anything and just stared at him. What are you looking at? Jiang Mai's hair stood on end. Lin Jiji said, Jiang Mai, go to the signing ceremony now. Jiang Mai sneered and looked her up and down. You've grown bolder, haven't you? How dare you order me around? Lin Jiji said, or I will tell Ningxi that you like her. Fuck. Jiang Mai widened his eyes in disbelief. Lin Jiji, how dare you? Lin Jiji looked at him expressionlessly. Jiang Mai suddenly realized that he had fallen into a trap and hurriedly denied. Are you out of your mind? Who said I like her? Lin Jiji, you said it in your dream. Jiang Mai's face darkened. Are you trying to trick me? Lin Jiji, I recorded it. Fuck. Lin Jiji, you're too despicable. Jiang Mai said. His eyes turned cold, and he suddenly grabbed her phone, ready to destroy the evidence. At this time, Lin Jiji pressed the send button and said unhurriedly, actually, you didn't talk in your dream, but I have recorded our conversation and sent it to my email. It's useless even if you delete it from my cell phone. Although Jiang Mai didn't say anything in the conversation, his attitude was equivalent to admitting it. Chapter 726. Although Jiang Mai didn't say anything in the conversation, his attitude meant that he admitted it. Sure enough, her guess was right. Only a woman could change a man. Jiang Mai had changed a lot since he came back to China. There was no other possibility. Lin Jiji, damn it, you win. Jiang Mai gnashed his teeth. These conversations were irrefutable evidence, and they were even more convincing than sleep talk. Lin Jiji quickly picked out a set of clothes from Jiang Mai's wardrobe and threw them to him, signaling him to put them on. Then she called Ning Shi and told her to tell Lei Ming that everything had been settled after he woke up and not to worry. However, Jiang Mai thought she was going to tell Ning Shi, so he took off all his clothes in a second. I'm going to change now. Are you trying to kill me? Lin Jiji, Jiang Mai said proudly, how is it? Isn't my figure better than before? TSK, TSK, TSK. Who told you to quit? Do you regret it now? There are thousands of girls who have such a chance to touch me. Lin Jiji, I'm going to make a phone call if you keep talking nonsense. Jiang Mai, fuck. Xianxia Entertainment. After Ning, she answered Lin Jiji's call. She immediately jumped in front of Lei Ming. Brother Ming, don't lie there like a corpse. Get up. Sister Jiji just called and said it's settled. She has found Jiang Mai and persuaded him to sign the contract. Really? You're not lying to me? Lei Ming jumped up as if he had a sudden recovery. Why would I lie to you? Sister Jiji said they are on the way to the hotel. That's great. I'm going to set up an altar for Jiji at home. Ning Shi's mouth twitched. Since it's settled, I'm going home now. Okay. Jiang Mai's matter was finally settled. Ning Shi couldn't wait to go to the garage to see her little BMW. Oh, it's a little black horse. Ning Shi looked at the black car. It was probably because it was her first job. The more she looked at it, the more she liked it. Oh, what should she do? Her injury was on her thigh, and it was quite high up. It should be fine to drive there, right? The more Ning Shi looked at it, the more tempted she became. She decisively pressed the key and got in. As soon as Ning Shi drove away, Liang Biqin and several actresses walked over. Isn't that Ning Shi? Is that BMW her car? One of them looked in the direction Ning Shi left and asked. I think so. I heard from my agent that the company arranged it for her. Another female artist replied. Her eyes were filled with envy and jealousy. Fuck, why would a newcomer be given a BMW? Based on what? You haven't even released a single work yet, and you've only accepted a small game endorsement. What right do you have to receive such good treatment? Maybe it's because it's popular recently? I thought that Xianxia was dead for sure after the incident with Hu Hongda, who knew that she would turn things around in an instant and become famous for free, gaining so much sympathy. Moreover, wasn't Under the Heavens going to premiere soon? Who knows? He might be able to make a comeback soon. Liang Biqin scoffed softly. What do you guys know? Female artists like her, who could only rely on scandals and beauty to gain popularity, were the lowest in the industry, second only to those who relied on exposing their breasts and selling their bodies. Even if she became popular, she would never be able to go the high-end route. That's true, the others echoed. Oh, by the way, I heard that Noble is holding a new product launch and fashion dinner at Dijua tomorrow night. Did any of you get an invitation? Chapter 7:27. Are you kidding me? How could small characters like us receive an invitation to such a high-end dinner party? I heard that Noble is exclusively for royal dignitaries. Although it's not that popular, it's definitely more classy than Chanel, Tiffany, and Irani. Listening to the discussion around her, Liang Biqin casually took out an exquisite invitation from her bag. Are you talking about this? This is it. This is it. Biqin, you're amazing. You actually got an invitation. One of the female celebrities was full of admiration. She stared at the invitation with glowing eyes. This invitation smells so good. No wonder it's a perfume. Even the invitation is so creative. Of course, I heard that they've invited all the big names in the entertainment and fashion circles. Biqin's movies are getting more and more popular, and her TV series this year has high ratings. It's no surprise that she was invited. I'm so jealous. I want to go and see for myself. Me too, me too. Liang Biqin carefully put away the invitation. She then looked at them and said, I can't help you with this, but I can ask my cousin for help. She's quite close to Noble's art director, Cook. She's even a special guest this time. Really? That's great. Thank you so much, Biqin. Liang Biqin's vanity was completely satisfied with the compliments and gratitude. Don't mention it. It's just a small matter. On the way home, Xianxia thought about it. Seeing that she had nothing to do for the rest of the day, she decided to take advantage of this time to meet her second senior. However, she suddenly remembered that Tang Lang's original number was unreachable, so she put on her Bluetooth headset and called Lu Tingxiao. Hello. A man's calm voice came from the other end. Xianxia. Boss, what's Tang Lang's phone number? Send it to me. I'm free this afternoon, so I'm going to ask him out. Lu Tingxiao. Okay. Oh, the company gave me a car. It's a little black horse. It's so cool. Xianxia excitedly shared her good mood with Lu Tingxiao. You're driving? Lu Tingxiao asked. Yeah. Focus on driving. Be careful of your leg injury. I'm hanging up. Lu Tingxiao was about to hang up the phone. On the other end of the line, Xianxia sounded disappointed. She curled her lips and said, Boss, you're so cold to me. Won't you give me a kiss? Stop fooling around. Oh, bye-bye. Xianxia hung up. A few seconds later, his phone rang. Lu Tingxiao must have sent her his number. Xianxia glanced at it out of the corner of her eye and saw that it was a cell phone number. There were 3 words at the end of the message. Xianxia couldn't help laughing. The Demon King is so cute. After returning home, Xianxia immediately called second senior brother. Hello, second senior brother? Little junior sister, you finally remember to call me. Your second senior brother, the voice on the other end of the phone sounded lonely and sad. How would I know you're in the capital? You. Cough, are you working? When will you be free? Shall we meet? Xianxia asked. Don't worry, I'll be free soon. Your man just gave me a day off and said you want to see me. Sigh, even a small security guard can't avoid being stuffed with dog food. Xianxia, okay. Chapter 7:28. In a restaurant. Lady boss, not far away, a man was waving at her. The man had short brown curly hair, as usual, and he had one hand in his pocket. He was actually wearing a security uniform. After seeing Tang Lang's appearance, Xianxia decisively spat out a mouthful of water. Tisk! Why are you so excited to see second senior brother? The man sat down opposite her and raised his eyebrows. Ahem. Second senior brother, are you really working as a security guard at Lu Tingxiao's company? Although she already knew in advance, it was still not as exciting as seeing it with her own eyes. Yes. What's wrong? Didn't I tell you on the phone? Because you wanted to see me, the boss personally gave me half a day off. Tang Lang said as he habitually touched his waist. Of course, it wasn't a gun there, but a small electric baton. Second senior brother, what exactly happened to you? Don't tell me your brain was damaged when you fought with eldest senior brother last time? Tang Lang glanced at her from the corner of his eyes with an expression as if he was looking for defeat. You mortals will never understand the feeling of suddenly wanting to be immortal. Ningxi, oh right, junior sister, I've been wanting to ask you for a long time. What exactly is your relationship with Lu Tingxiao? One night stand? Multi-night stand? Where did he keep you? Tang Lang leaned on the table and asked with great interest. One night stand or multi-night stand? Why didn't he just say one night stand? Ning, she was speechless. Bullshit. We're openly boyfriend and girlfriend. Damn. Are you serious? Tang Lang was shocked. No wonder someone has been so crazy recently. Someone? Who are you talking about? Ning, she looked vigilant. No one. Tang Lang changed the topic. How long have you two been dating? Ning, she counted. Well, including today, it's 3 days. Ahem. Then didn't you guys only confirm your relationship with Dib? Tang Lang asked in surprise. Ning, she rolled her eyes at him. Yes, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Haven't you heard of that? Tang Lang, he felt that if someone knew the truth and knew that he was a godly assistant, he would definitely be furious. Ning, she tapped her fingers on the table. Now it's my turn to ask you. What do you want to ask? Tang Lang raised his eyebrows. Why are you working for Lu Tingxiao all of a sudden? We're just taking what we need. Ning, she looked thoughtful when she heard this. It seemed that second senior brother needed Lu Tingxiao's help with something, and the two had reached an agreement. As for the specifics, Ning, she didn't plan to ask. Some things were better left unsaid. Thus, Ning, she went straight to the point. I actually have a serious matter to discuss with you. Second senior brother, are you interested in doing a part-time job? Tang Lang's eyes lit up. Oh, part-time? He was quite interested. I'm in need of money. All her previous accounts have been sealed by that crazy Tang Yi. Simply too heartless, shameless, and unreasonable. The corners of Ning Shi's mouth twitched. Ha! Eldest senior brother didn't kill you because of his deep affection for you. Tell me what part-time job? No matter what part-time job it is, as long as I have money, I will do it. Tang Lang said straightforwardly. Don't agree so quickly. The part-time job I'm talking about is to be the master of a 5-year-old boy. Seriously and attentively teach him everything you know. Tang Lang combed his bangs. 5-year-old child? That's a little too difficult. Whose child is it? To actually make you come to me personally, junior sister? Ning, she took a sip of tea. My son. Chapter 729. When did you have a son? Moreover, he was already 5 years old. The most unscientific thing was, you actually have the ability to give birth? Tang Lang looked at Ning, she as if he had seen a ghost. Ning, she didn't want Tang Lang to make a fuss when he saw her in women's clothes, so she specially went home and changed into men's clothes before coming out to see him. But even if she wore men's clothing, she was still a woman. All right, I'm a woman, okay? Why isn't there such a function? Ning, she was speechless. Really, your son? Ning, she rolled her eyes at him. Isn't Lu Tingxiao's son my son? The corner of Tang Lang's mouth twitched. You really don't regard me as an outsider. I thought he was really your son. Speaking of which, aren't you being too nice to Lu Tingxiao's son? Why are you so concerned about me? Why do you care? Are you going to do it or not? Do. As long as there's money, I'll do anything. That's settled then. The time will be every Saturday and Sunday, because he usually has to go to kindergarten. Also, the first 3 months will be a probation period. If you don't teach well, I'll have to replace you. Ning, she said seriously. TSK. Tang Lang looked at her and clicked his tongue. What are you clicking your tongue for? Now that you've become someone else's woman, you're siding with an outsider. That little junior sister who followed behind me every day will never come back. Hee hee, you can already be a security guard. What else is impossible in this world? After chatting with Tang Lang for a long time, she suddenly remembered that there was still a very important question. That's right, second senior brother. Does Lu Tingxiao know about what happened to me? You also know about our relationship? Tang Lang took a sip of tea. He should know. Hearing this answer, she was relieved. In fact, when they were in the abandoned arsenal in Philadelphia, Lu Tingxiao had already seen it with his own eyes. Who cares if he knows or not? Just as she was deep in thought, Tang Lang suddenly said, Hey, it's fine if it's a certain someone, but I never thought that Lu Tingxiao's taste would be so heavy. She's face darkened. Fuck, what did that mean? Why is liking me a heavy taste? Isn't liking you enough? All right, actually, it's going to be a little heavy. Pearl River Imperial View. When she got home, she saw a man with a hat, mask, and sunglasses squatting at the door. Golden Fur? Why are you here? Where did you go? I'm freezing. Open a door. Jiangmai urged. As expected, it was this fellow. She took out the key to open the door and poured him a cup of hot water. Have you signed the contract? Jiangmai grunted. Why did you suddenly come here? I thought you really wanted to sever ties with me. She raised her brows. Jiangmai was furious when he heard that. How dare you say that? I don't know who was the one who told me not to worry. He said that your journey was the sea of stars, and you would never stop for any flower or grass. Jiangmai was furious. Sigh, love comes too fast, just like a tornado. Jiangmai resisted the urge to fight with her. He took a deep breath and said, I'm just here to tell you. During this period, if Lin Zhizhi tells you anything about me, don't believe it. What do you mean? Who cares what she says? Just don't believe it. Jiangmai said impatiently. Then he put on his mask and said, I'm leaving. She was speechless. He came all the way here just to say something so ridiculous. What a lunatic. Chapter 730. The next night, Dijue Hotel, the world's top luxury brand, Noble's new product launch was about to begin, and it would be officially launched in Huan Nation next month. The mysterious female lead of a new commercial, the most expensive perfumer in the world, Green and Krista, the director of the movies Red and Black and Wind, Noble's art director Cook Bryan, the country's top fragrance concoction master White Rose, the entertainment industry's A-list superstars Su Yimou, Song Lin, and many other big shots in the fashion industry were all present. Su Yimou was wearing a long dress inlaid with exotic flowers to match the theme of the perfume, looking very mysterious and elegant. Sister Yimou, you're so beautiful today. Nonsense. Yimou is beautiful every day. Thank you, Sister Yimou. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to come. The celebrities who got in through Su Yimou's back door complimented her politely. You're welcome. We're all colleagues, Su Yimou said calmly. While they were chatting, someone suddenly remembered and asked, Oh yeah, do you guys know who's the spokesperson for Noble's new product? Noble has been keeping a secret, and no one in the industry knows anything about it. It's so mysterious. What's so mysterious about it? It's just Li Leiling. Liang Biqin looked like she already knew the inside story. Hearing this, someone felt sorry. Li Leiling? Why is she from Starlight? Didn't anyone from Golden Arrow audition? Sister Yimou has other contracts. Why didn't you, Biqin? Liang Biqin's expression turned ugly when she heard this. Of course she tried, but she was eliminated in the first round. Seeing Liang Biqin's expression, the person who spoke realized that he had said something wrong and immediately tried to smooth things over. Look at my memory. You were busy filming. You definitely didn't have time. What a pity. Liang Biqin's expression finally calmed down, and she said, Yeah, I was too busy, so I didn't sign up. Then, she secretly rejoiced that the audition process for Noble spokesperson was completely confidential, so they wouldn't know if she signed up or not. While they were talking, they suddenly saw two people walk in. Isn't that Ning Shi and Lin Zhizhi? Why are they here? Isn't it obvious? Lin Zhizhi also can't stand Ningxi's low class. She wants her to experience more occasions like this and wash away her rustic aura. Director Cook. Director Cook is here. Soon, the group's attention was attracted by the sudden appearance of Noble's art director, Cook. He seems to be looking in our direction. He's coming. Although Liang Biqin was also very excited, she pretended to be calm and said in a low voice, "What's there to be surprised about? I told you that my cousin has a good relationship with Director Cook." Su Yimo stood up calmly. "Mr. Cook, long time no see." Cook shook hands with her politely. "Miss Su, we meet again. Thank you and your friends for coming." "No, you're too polite." Seeing how close Su Yimo and Cook were, the other female artists were all envious, and Liang Biqin was proud of them. "I'm too busy today, so I'll take my leave first." As Cook spoke, he looked into the distance with an anxious expression. He seemed to be in a hurry. After exchanging a few words, he immediately walked behind Su Yimo and the others. "Hey, dear she, we finally meet again." Chapter 731. Cook was polite and distant when he talked to Su Yimo, but when he saw Ning Shi, his whole face lit up. His tone was full of enthusiasm, and he gave Ning Shi a big hug. Ning Shi had been in China for 4 years, so she was used to their warm greetings, so she hugged him back. "Long time no see." "Oh, honey, why?" Cook looked her up and down in surprise. Ning Shi blinked. "What's wrong with me?" "Honey, you're even more beautiful than before," Cook said excitedly. Ning Shi didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "My dear director, you're so good at coaxing girls," Cook said sincerely. "Oh, no. Honey, you've really become more beautiful." "No, strictly speaking, you're charming." "Honey, are you in love?" Ning Shi was dumbfounded. Damn it, did this guy have sharp eyes? "Ahem, Director Cook, you are so good at joking." Ning Shi glanced at Lin Zhizhi with scruples and hurriedly made up an excuse. Fortunately, Cook didn't ask further, and Lin Zhizhi didn't notice it either. "Then when I see you later, honey, I have a feeling that everyone will be amazed by you. See you later." "Thank you for your compliment." Although Su Yimo and Liang Biqin couldn't hear what they were talking about, they could tell that Cook and Ning Shi were very close and enthusiastic. Su Yimo's face darkened. Liang Biqin's face darkened. Why is that woman so close to Director Cook? "I think she's too close," a female actress said sarcastically. Liang Biqin snorted. "I was wondering how she got the invitation." "Lin Zhizhi is so down and out now. How could she get an invitation? This bitch is really getting higher and higher." Su Yimo glanced at her and said unhappily, "Don't talk nonsense. Have you forgotten what I told you?" This cousin of hers was too impetuous and impatient. Everyone in the circle knew that she was her cousin, so it didn't matter if she talked nonsense. She would be implicated too. "I'm sorry, cousin. I just couldn't stand seeing her like that." Liang Biqin muttered and restrained herself a little. "Sister Mo, you really have a good temper. If I were you, I wouldn't be able to stand being tied up by these people all day." "That's right." A moment later, the product launch officially began. First, the founder of Noble explained their product concept and future plans to expand into the Chinese market. After that, Su Yimo and a group of big names in the fashion industry spoke one after another. Su Yimo had the demeanor of a goddess. She said in an interview, "I've always loved Noble's products, and I admire Noble's creative inspiration. I'm honored to attend the launch of their new perfume. Imo, I heard that you were Director Cook's favorite endorser, but because you're the endorser for Chanel, they couldn't work together. Is that true?" a reporter asked. Su Yimo smiled. "It's indeed a pity." This was a tacit agreement with the reporter's words. So, the reporter turned the microphone to Director Cook and asked casually, "I'm sure Director Cook is also very disappointed." Cook said without hesitation, No, it's my good fortune. There's a saying in China, misfortune may turn out to be a blessing in disguise. I think that's how I feel. I'm very satisfied with the endorser this time. She's amazing." Chapter 732. As soon as Cook said this, everyone in the room felt awkward. The reporter who asked the question just now broke out in a cold sweat. These foreigners were too blunt. Even if it was unintentional, it was still too embarrassing. In the end, Su Yimo smiled casually and said, "Director Cook praised her so highly. I believe she must be a very outstanding artist." Director Cook nodded and said, "Yes." Fortunately, because of Su Yimo's generosity, the awkwardness was finally resolved. However, the people in the room were even more interested in the new spokesperson that was about to be announced. Did Cook deliberately exaggerate for the sake of the brand? Or was the spokesperson really that good? The latter was quite likely. After all, it was a high-end brand like Noble, so the spokesperson this time would definitely be an A-list artist or even an A-list artist. It was normal for Cook to say this. After a brief interlude, the new product launch continued. The staff enthusiastically gave the guests and reporters the test papers for the new perfume. Noble Perfume Workshop has been passed down from generation to generation for nearly 200 years. The formula is profound. This time, as always, we adhere to the most ancient aromatherapy distillation technology and strictly select the best materials. This time, our perfume uses roses from Bulgaria's Rose Valley, jasmine from Florence, evening jasmine from India, vetiver from Haiti, and ylang ylang from Madagascar. Everyone gently sniffed the test paper. The rich fragrance made them feel like they were in an ancient and luxurious palace, and they couldn't help but become dignified, accompanied by the vivid explanation and intoxicated praises from the audience. The huge screen in front of them quietly lit up. The screen showed a cloudy sky, and then the camera cut through the layers of dark clouds and directly switched to the ancient Chong and street in China. The camera focused on a girl in ragged clothes. The girl's hair was messy, and her face was full of dirt. It was impossible to see her original appearance. Seeing this scene, the guests and reporters below the stage revealed a look of surprise. Am I seeing things? Is this the commercial that Noble spent a lot of money on? Isn't the theme of Noble, Noble, Noble? Yeah, why is the female lead of the commercial a beggar? At that moment, a pair of embroidered uniformed guards in palace robes riding on large horses galloped past. They did not notice the young beggar girl on the side of the street. At this point, the audience was still confused. They had no idea how the plot would develop next. I can't believe I still don't know who the spokesperson is. Nonsense. Who would be able to recognize him when his face is painted like this? Isn't this spokesperson a little too pitiful? Could it be that the beggar was just a passerby, and the real protagonist is still behind? Amidst the doubtful whispers below the stage, the camera focused on the weeping willow by the street. A cool breeze blew past, and the willow catkins fluttered in the wind. Then, the sound of approaching horse hooves could be heard. The team of horses that had just left suddenly returned and stopped in front of the beggar girl. The leading general quickly jumped off his horse and lowered his head before kneeling on one knee in front of the beggar girl with incomparable respect. Following that, all the guards dismounted from their horses and bowed their heads in unison as they half-knelt in front of the young lady. Chapter 733. Then, the camera focused on the girl's face. The girl's hair fluttered gently in the wind, as if there was an invisible fragrance. Seeing such a scene, the girl's dirty face didn't show any surprise. In her clear eyes, there was a kind of arrogance in her indifferent eyes. Then, the scene changed from Chong and street to the luxurious palace hall. In the camera was a woman's back. The woman was dressed in a gorgeous golden silk dress, and her hair was combed into a delicate bun. She walked into the hall step by step in a dignified manner. At this moment, everyone had understood the plot. The beggar girl was actually a princess who accidentally wandered among the common people. Because the girl's clothes were ragged and her face was dirty, the guards didn't recognize her at first. Finally, they found out the girl's true identity because of her noble aura, even though she was down and out. When everyone was amazed by the creativity of the commercial on the big screen, the scene suddenly changed to the princess's face. Finally, the princess's face was seen. The audience couldn't help but look forward to it. The hairpin in her hair swayed gently. When the princess slowly raised her head, the bright red flower applique on her forehead and her extremely beautiful face caused everyone to suck in a breath of cold air in awe compared with the previous beggar image. This scene was even more shocking. What was more shocking was that everyone had recognized who the girl was. Ningxi. It's Ningxi. The second female lead in the world, Xianxia, is played by Ningxi. So beautiful. I remember being amazed when I saw the trailer of The World. Some people were surprised, and some were stunned. The moment Ningxi's face appeared, Su Yimo almost spilled the tea in her hand. It turned out to be Ningxi. How could it be? How could it be Ningxi? Liang Biqin stood up uncontrollably and wanted to see clearly. She murmured incredulously, "It's impossible. How could it be Ningxi? Is there a mistake somewhere?" "Yes, Biqin. Didn't you say it was Li Leiling? How could that woman, Ningxi, be qualified to receive such a high-level endorsement?" However, although Ningxi's face only appeared for a second at the end of the commercial, it left a deep impression on everyone. That was Ningxi. They would never mistake her for someone else. After a brief moment of silence, the audience burst into thunderous applause. Wonderful. It was too exciting. As expected of director Cook. What a clever idea. Although the film doesn't have a single line, it conveys a concept to everyone. Nobility is a kind of temperament. Even if the princess became a beggar on the streets, she was still a princess. Her noble temperament will not change because of her clothes and appearance. Amazing. What's even more amazing is that the female lead only showed her face at the very last second, but that last second was all that remained in my mind. Even when the only thing left on the big screen was the latest gorgeous crystal bottle and the brand logo of the perfume, everyone was still immersed in amazement. Next, let's welcome our new spokesperson, Ningxi. Miss Ning. In the host's excited voice, Ningxi, who had been sitting quietly in the corner without anyone noticing, slowly stood up. Director Cook walked off the stage with great enthusiasm, bowed to Ningxi, and then reached out to help her walk to the stage. Chapter 734. There was no doubt that it was Ningxi. There was no doubt that she was the spokesperson of Noble. What a surprise. I didn't expect that the mysterious spokesperson would be Miss Ningxi, who plays Xianxia. The competition is so fierce this time. I believe there will be many excellent artists participating in the audition. Why did you choose Ningxi? Because during the audition, I saw that Xianxia had the noble temperament and pride that our brand needs most. Cook answered with satisfaction. Ningxi, can you tell us what you know about perfume? The reporter turned to Ningxi and asked. Perfume is the most direct and invasive smell on a person's body. A person's taste will extend around the fragrance. For a woman, a man might not remember what kind of clothes you wore today, or even your appearance, but he would definitely remember the smell on your body. People will never forget their memories of smells. Ningxi answered calmly. She didn't show any stage fright or nervousness under the attention of so many reporters and big shots in the circle. The press conference was carried on in a peaceful atmosphere. Everyone's eyes were on Ningxi, and no one noticed that two people had arrived at the door behind them. Ningxi looked at Li Leiling, who had dragged her over. She felt a little helpless. Although she was also invited, she didn't intend to make trouble for herself because she knew that the spokesperson was Ningxi. She thought that Li Leiling wouldn't come either, but she didn't expect that Li Leiling would come alone and drag her here. She will, trust me. Just wait and see. There will be a good show later. Li Leiling looked at Ningxi, who was the focus of attention on the stage, with a vicious look. That was her. Those admiring eyes should have belonged to her. But now they were all taken away by this shameless woman. Ningxi looked at Li Leiling's determined eyes and felt a little uneasy. However, since Li Leiling wanted to mess with Ningxi, she was happy to see it happen. So she sat down with her and waited to see what would happen. Well, she didn't need to deal with Ningxi herself. At this time, Liang Biqin noticed Li Leiling's arrival, so her eyes lit up. She immediately turned around and asked in a low voice, Li Leiling, you're here too. Li Leiling nodded nonchalantly. She did not have a good attitude towards the artists of Golden Era. She was just trying to save face. Her attention was focused on the stage, and she was not in the mood to talk to anyone. Liang Biqin asked impatiently, Aren't you the spokesperson for Noble? Why did it become Ningxi? Li Leiling furrowed her brows. Her expression did not look too good. She then said faintly, At first I also thought it was me, but forget it. Hearing this, Liang Biqin and the other female artists around her felt a little strange. Why was there something wrong with Li Leiling's words? What did he mean by thinking that it was her? Liang Biqin rolled her eyes and suddenly felt a little excited. Could there be some inside story? Just then, during the Q&A session, a reporter suddenly asked in a sharp tone, As we all know, the competition to be the spokesperson for Noble is very fierce. Just based on what I know, the few who signed up are all A-list and super-list actresses in the industry. There are even award-winning actresses like Fang Xiaowen and outstanding artists like Meng Shi. Why did you choose the little-known Ning Shi as the endorser based on the trailer of the world? Chapter 735. Hearing this, everyone on the scene was stunned, and it was easy for them to think of the ambiguous direction. After a pause, the reporter said more directly, I have received insider information that the endorser was Miss Li Leiling of Starlight Entertainment. Why did she suddenly change to Ning Shi? Is there some kind of unspeakable deal? The reporter's words were very obvious. Every sentence was an accusation. Ning Shi squeezed Li Leiling out of her position through the unspoken rules. In an instant, there was an uproar on the scene. Su Yimo, who had been pretending to be calm and generous, relaxed a little imperceptibly. Liang Biqin looked excited. I knew it was like this. In the back seat, Li Leiling crossed her arms over her chest and gave Ning Shuo a smug look. Obviously, she had arranged that reporter. Can Director Kuk and Miss Ning Shi give all of us an answer to this question? The reporter looked at Ning Shi with a mocking look. Everyone's cameras and eyes turned to Ning Shi excitedly or gossipy, trying to capture her embarrassed mood. However, in the face of such a severe accusation and such a sudden situation, Ning Shi's expression didn't change at all. Instead, she took the microphone and stared at the reporter who questioned her like an ice blade. Yes, I admit that the competition is very fierce this time. When I received the notice from my agent that I had passed the primary, I was very surprised and pleasantly surprised. Reporter friend, I want to ask you something. Is there a causal relationship between the fierce competition and the fact that I passed the audition through abnormal means? Because of the fierce competition, I shouldn't have passed the audition. In addition, insider information. Where did you get the so-called insider information? Do you think it's appropriate for you to pin such a serious crime as dealing with an unscrupulous person on me just based on these 4 words? If the person sitting here today is not me, but someone else, can I also question the other party with the groundless reason of insider information? Ning Shi threw out 3 questions in a row, one sharper than the other, and immediately the reporter was speechless. The reporter's face turned red, and then he said in a tough tone, As a reporter, we have the right to raise reasonable questions and restore the truth for the public. Besides, everyone has seen your flirtatious behavior with Director Cook just now. Huh, ambiguous? It's an ordinary hug between friends and partners. Do you think it's ambiguous? Do you know the saying that what you see in your heart is what you see? Are you exercising your authority or using it to slander? Ning Shi questioned. You're just quibbling. Then he took out a large stack of photos from his bag and distributed them to everyone present, including Ning Shi and Kuk. I have evidence. How do you explain these photos? Ning Shi took a look at the photos. They were some of the highlights and interactions she had with Director Cook in China. However, the camera angle was very tricky. Cook was just excitedly patting her shoulder, but because of the angle, it looked like they were hugging each other. There were even a few photos that looked like they were kissing each other. Instantly, the guests and journalists at the scene became more excited and looked at Ning Shi with disgust. I thought the qualifiers would be very fair. I didn't expect such a big brand to have such a scandal. This is too embarrassing. At the same time, when no one noticed backstage, Lin Zhiji had quietly found the director's assistant, whispered something in his ear, and handed him a USB flash drive. Chapter 736. The assistant nodded and then walked towards Cuck on the stage. At this moment, Cuck's face was extremely dark. After hearing what the assistant whispered to him, he hesitated, but when he looked at Ning Shi, he suddenly became determined. So he nodded to the assistant, glanced at the audience solemnly, and finally stared at the reporter. The audition process, including our shooting process, was supposed to be confidential, but since everyone has such doubts, with that he winked at the assistant, who immediately inserted the USB flash drive into the computer. The next second, a picture appeared on the big screen. Everyone thought that Cuck had no choice but to announce the casting process, so they immediately looked at the big screen excitedly. The room in the picture was obviously the interview hall, and the girl in the interview hall turned out to be Li Leilang. Li Leilang was wearing an incomparably gorgeous Chinese qipao. She was sitting there and playing a guqin. She exuded a noble and elegant aura. She was so perfect that nothing could be picked on her. Seeing such a picture, everyone was even more certain of the reporter's words. Li Leilang's performance is really wonderful. It's simply unsurpassable. Yes, there's obviously an inside story. Then, before the discussion stopped, Ning Shi, who was covered in dust, walked in. In the beginning, Cuck was cursing at Ning Shi. He scolded Ning Shi that dressing like this was disrespectful to them. Sure enough, the endorser should have been Li Leilang. Director Cuck hated Ning Shi at first. Why did he choose her as the endorser later? That's obvious. He must have used some extreme means. Everyone looked at each other with a tacit understanding. However, right after that, everyone was as shocked as Cook on the big screen, speechless. Ning Shi sat in front of the guqin calmly and played a super difficult Guangling San. I think the real elegance and nobility is not to use the name of a luxury brand between the lines, not to play expensive jewelry on the wrist, not to show off one's beauty and knowledge. The real nobility is that even if one's clothes are ragged and unkempt, one's nobility can't be concealed. Until Ning Shi's words came from the big screen, everyone in the audience was still in a daze. It was so shocking. Such a wonderful idea in the noble commercial was actually from Ning Shi's audition. However, this was not the end. The big screen continued to play the highlights of the commercial. It could be seen that the photos that the reporter showed them were deliberately taken from ambiguous angles. In fact, the two of them were communicating normally, without any ambiguity. The last image on the big screen was a list of actors. The form was filled with the names of all the applicants, and beside it was the list of those who had been selected. Liang Biqin and Ning Shuiluo's names were on the list of applicants. Liang Biqin was just a little disappointed that she couldn't knock Ning Shi down. But when she saw her name on the registration list, her face suddenly changed. At the same time, the female artists around Liang Biqin were speechless. He had clearly registered, but was eliminated. Yet, to save face, he said he didn't register. Of course, there was another person whose expression was even worse than Liang Biqin's. Li Leilang didn't expect that Ning Shi was prepared. Cuck even made the audition process public for her. She was annoyed when she saw the name list. Ning Shuiluo's name was on the list. Chapter 737. Didn't Ning Shuiluo say that she didn't sign up because she didn't want to compete with her? Shuiluo, you signed up? Didn't you say you didn't? Ning Shuiluo didn't expect that the thing she was most worried about would happen. Her face darkened, and she forced herself to say, I'm surprised too. I clearly told Sister Chong not to help me sign up. Maybe she had too many things to do and was negligent. I see. Li Leilang was skeptical. However, even if Ning Shuiluo said so, it didn't change the fact that she was eliminated in the first round. She had originally thought that with Ning Shuiluo's temperament, she would be her biggest competitor. Who knew that she would actually be eliminated in the first round the Noble product launch came to an end. After that, the reporters surrounded Ning Xiu. Because Ning Xiu was the most famous one on the eliminated list, the reporters naturally focused their attention on her. Xiuelo, you also participated in the Noble audition, but you lost to your former junior sister. How do you feel about it? Xiu, the theme of Noble is nobility. Does this mean that Director Cook thinks that you don't fit the theme? Ning Xiuo stared at Ning, she who was surrounded and praised by the reporters not far away. She clenched her nails into her palms and answered the reporters calmly. I didn't intend to participate in this audition, nor did I know about it. My agent must have helped me vote, so I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. What he meant was that he had just casually thrown it and didn't take it to heart at all. He hadn't seriously prepared for it. However, no one knew how many people would believe her. Liang Biqin looked at Ning Xiuo, who was surrounded by reporters, and secretly rejoiced that Ning Xiuo's attention was diverted. Fearing that she would be targeted, she quickly ran away. Li Leiling was really screwed over by her. Fortunately, even Ning Xiuo didn't make it, so it wasn't so embarrassing for her on the other side. After saying goodbye to Director Cook, Ning Shi left the hotel, accompanied by Lin Jiji. In the car, Ning Shi happily hugged Lin Jiji and kissed her. Sister Jiji, you're so awesome. You actually prepared all of this in advance. Lin Jiji looked at her helplessly. Just in case. It was only because of your good performance that I was able to follow your reaction. Otherwise, if your reaction had been slightly inappropriate, it would have become a laughing stock. Ning Shi snorted. We are the best partners. Lin Jiji chuckled. Go back and have a good rest. We're about to start preparing for the new show. Okay. Back home, Ning Shi ate her meal, then wiped her lower body with hot water, and lay comfortably on the bed. As he was reading a book on film theory, there was a knock on the door. Who could it be at this time? Ning Shi opened the door and saw Lu Tingxiao standing at the door in a black trench coat. He seemed to be emitting cold air from outside the house. Ning Shi immediately rushed over and hugged him. Boss, you're here. With that said, she stuck her head out and looked behind him. Where's Xiaobao? Lu Tingxiao replied with a straight face. I didn't bring him. Oh, why? It's not suitable for children. Lu Tingxiao said and pushed the door open with his arm around her waist. With a bang, the door was closed. Ning Shi leaned against the door, and the man held the back of her head and kissed her wantonly. Chapter 738. The great demon king who had removed the seal, he was really passionate. Ning, she had already changed into a soft and warm velvet pajamas. The man's palm easily slipped into the pajamas from her slender waist and moved up, covering the soft curve. Because Lu Tingxiao's palm was cold from outside, Ning Shi's body couldn't help shivering. She didn't know if it was because of the cold or the sudden stimulation. Are you cold? Lu Tingxiao's big palm hurriedly withdrew. At this moment, the girl was wearing furry pajamas, and her long hair was comfortably and casually draped over her shoulders. She had a comfortable and lazy air about her. She was too soft, too warm, and too fragrant, which made him lose control uncontrollably, and today was already the 4th day of their relationship. More than half of the 1 week of death deadline had passed without them noticing. These few days, he almost didn't know how he came back. He floated in extreme joy and despair. He had thought of many ways to make it impossible for her to leave him again, and he couldn't bear to leave her for even a second. But in the end, he chose to let nature take its course. Being held in his arms, Ningxi sensitively felt a heat source and a gradually hardening part of the man's lower abdomen. It seemed that the man's heart trembled and slightly rough feelings still remained. She couldn't help blushing. It was just a kiss, and there was a reaction. And this wasn't the first time. Damn it, the next time anyone said that Lu Tingxiao didn't like women, she would slap him to the wall. Did it go well today? Lu Tingxiao asked, his voice still hoarse from lust. Ningxi's little face lit up as she nodded. There was a small disturbance, but it's all settled. Sensing that Lu Tingxiao was holding her and adjusting his breathing, obviously suppressing his emotions, Ningxi raised her little head that was pressed against his chest. She blinked at the man and said weakly, "Well, the nurse said that it's not good for the body to hold it in for too long. The nurse also said that although I'm injured, I don't actually need to do it. How about I help you?" As soon as she finished speaking, the little beast that Lu Tingxiao had used all his self-control to appease completely lost control after hearing Ningxi's words. Lu Tingxiao leaned over and kissed the girl's forehead. His tone was much calmer now. "No need." "What?" He was already in such a state, "Because I can't bear to." He couldn't bear to force her to do anything she didn't want to do. Ningxi sighed softly. "Well, in fact, I was a little repulsed by men, but..." "Boss," as they were talking, the doorbell suddenly rang. Ningxi looked out through the peephole and immediately felt like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. All the hair on her body stood up. "Fuck! Sister Gigi, why is she here at this time? Ah! What to do? What to do?" The doorbell kept ringing. Ningxi pushed Lu Tingxiao around anxiously and finally pushed him into the bathroom. However, she was still worried, so she pulled open the bathroom curtain and asked him to hide in the bathtub. Ningxi looked at the Demon King, who was forced to stay in the narrow bathtub with his long arms and legs. Ningxi kissed him on the lips and rubbed his handsome face. I'm sorry. I'll have to trouble you for a bit, but you'll be fine soon." Chapter 739. The devil's face was still very dark. She made up her mind. She straddled him and kissed the corner of his lips. "Darling, don't you find it exciting to be in a relationship as if you're having an affair?" Lu Tingxiao's eyes darkened. He pressed her head down and kissed her fiercely. This girl, was she too confident in his self-control? She was flustered by the ringing of the bell outside the door. She stroked the man's hair and comforted him patiently. "I'm all right. I'll expose myself if we continue." No. You can't bite me here." The man panted slightly and resisted the urge to leave a mark on her body. I'm coming. She said softly in Lu Tingxiao's ear. "Be good. I'll help you when I come back." Lu Tingxiao's face stiffened. Ningxi's eyes were like a clear lake reflecting the bright moon. She looked at him quietly. "I didn't finish what I wanted to say just now. Mr. Boss, you're different. You're special." After saying that, she ran to the living room to open the door for Lin Jiji, ignoring the storm that was set off in Lu Tingxiao's heart because of her words. Sister Gigi, why are you here so late?" "Sorry, I was in the bathroom just now." "Come in." Ningxi opened the door and invited Lin Jiji in. She looked around the room, trying not to leave any traces of a man behind as she poured Lin Jiji a drink. Lin Jiji took the glass. She didn't look too good. "Don't bother. Have a seat. I came here suddenly because I have something to tell you." Ningxi glanced at Lin Jiji's troubled expression. "Is it bad news?" "Sort of." Lin Jiji nodded and said hesitantly, "Didn't you like a script?" "Yes. It's called I Only Like You, and it's a cross-dressing one." "What's wrong? Is there something wrong?" Ningxi asked anxiously. "The auditions for this drama will be held in a few days, and the director promised you a chance to audition. But just now, I received news that Liang Biqin has been appointed as the female lead." "What?" Ningxi frowned. "Are you sure?" Lin Jiji nodded. "Yes. When I called them, they said that they had already signed the contract. Otherwise, I would definitely help you fight for it." "That's fast." She was very disappointed. It was like saving money for a long time to buy a toy that he had been looking forward to for a long time, but when he finally had enough change, the toy was bought by someone else for $100. Meanwhile, in a private room of a bar in the imperial capital, the atmosphere was joyous and harmonious. "Thank you, Director Zheng and Producer Qian. Please take care of Biqin." "Thank you, Director. Thank you, Producer Qian. And thank you, cousin. I will work hard." Liang Biqin was excited. "Not at all. Miss Liang is very powerful. This is a strong alliance." "Exactly. What's more, Goddess Su has roped in so many big names for us. When the time comes, our movie will definitely have the strongest cast in history. It'll definitely be a hit. No matter what, we're the ones making the most profit." Liang Biqin eagerly poured wine for the directors as she asked, I heard that Lin Jiji has also contacted you guys. It seems that she's also interested in the role. Yes, she told me more than half a month ago that she was very interested in our play. So, I agreed to let Ningxi audition. In fact, I just said it casually. Ningxi's appearance is not suitable for the leading actress of our play. Chapter 740. The actresses next to her immediately chimed in. She's so shameless. She came over just because of the powerful cast and the huge investment. She should take a look at herself first. Does she think she can take on any show just because she's pretty? That's right. She's so vulgar. How shocking would it be if she dressed up as a man? She's only suitable to play a vixen. The director held Liang Biqin's hand and caressed it meaningfully. He smiled and said, I like Biqin the most. Su Yimo was rumored to be the woman of that man at Lu Corporation, so he naturally didn't dare to touch her. However, he could play with this little cousin of his if they were willing. Since Liang Biqin had access to the director's information, she was naturally happy to build a relationship with such a great director. She chuckled and said, Thank you, director, for your kindness. Su Yimo watched the two of them flirt with each other and was completely optimistic. If Liang Biqin could build a relationship with a director like Director Zheng, it would be very helpful for her in the future. She was now putting in so much effort to promote Liang Biqin because Liang Biqin's acting style was different from hers. There would be no conflict of resources, and she just happened to be in need of a strong direct follower and helper. Moreover, in the future, she could completely rest assured that she would be able to handle these kinds of things that required entertainment and company in the condominium. At the moment, this drama has already received an investment of 60 million yuan. An idol drama with an investment of 60 million yuan is almost unheard of in the industry. The production crew has also invited countless big names in the industry. Even the minor actors are A-listers. This means that so many people are here just to play the supporting role of the female lead. With such a cast, the competition will naturally be very fierce. Acting skills and suitability alone won't be enough to land the role. With your current qualifications, you are indeed a little inexperienced. Sister Gigi, I understand. Although she was unwilling. She had to admit that she was a newcomer who had only played a supporting role. It was indeed too difficult for her to play the female lead in her second show, especially with such a strong cast and a 60 million yuan investment. Modern dramas were different from period dramas. For modern urban dramas, an investment of 60 million yuan was already very frightening. Liang Biqin's recent movies and a popular TV series had been very well received, and she was playing the female lead in both of them. She was already an A-lister, not to mention she had Su Yimo support, so it was completely reasonable for the director to choose her. Ningxi and Lin Jiji talked about this matter for a long time, and finally came to the conclusion that even the contract had been signed, the matter was a foregone conclusion, and there was no turning back. As they chatted, Ningxi discovered an extremely serious matter. Oh, no. She seemed to have forgotten something. She had forgotten about the great demon king. Oh, my stomach hurts. Big sis Gigi, I need to go to the bathroom. Wait for me. Ningxi ran towards the bathroom and picked up some snacks, mineral water, and books when Lin Jiji was not paying attention. After entering the bathroom, Ningxi immediately pulled open the curtain of the bathroom with a schwa sound. All she saw was Lu Tingxiao sitting in the bathtub with his knees bent. When he saw her, his cold face revealed an almost resentful expression, as though he was a beautiful king who was imprisoned by this evil witch. Oh, my heart was beating fast. Ningxi tossed all the food and drinks in her arms into the bathtub, then lifted her feet and stepped into the bathtub. With a fawning expression, she snuggled into the demon king's arms. I was wrong. I'll be done talking soon. You eat something and read a book. Wait for me for a while, okay? Chapter 741. Lu Tingxiao asked, how long? Ningxi thought for a moment. 5 minutes. Soon, very soon. Afraid that Lin Jiji would get impatient, she quickly got up to leave. But because the bathtub was too slippery, She lost her footing and fell back into Lu Tingxiao's arms. The next second, she felt something hard poke her, but she immediately turned her head and groped as she complained, "Ouch! Lu Tingxiao, what's so hard on your body?" Lu Tingxiao let out a muffled groan from being pressed down by her. Then he pressed down on her little hand that was touching him and said through gritted teeth, "What do you think?" Ningxi's heart skipped a beat. She immediately realized what was going on. With a bitter face, she glanced cautiously at a certain part of his body that was trembling with energy. It couldn't have been like this since just now, right? Lu Tingxiao's gaze was like a volcano at the end of the world. He stared at her with a piercing gaze. The answer was obvious. "You're different, you're special, I'll help you when I come back." It was obvious that this wretch hadn't realized what her casual words meant to him. Let's put it this way. The effect of these words on him was equivalent to a powerful aphrodisiac. Okay? So, it was not hard to imagine how much he had been burning up in flames while she had been talking to Lin Zhizhi outside. She looked like she was committing a sin. She quickly escaped from the bathtub before the demon king flew into a rage. As she ran out, she whispered, "Be good, be good. Wait for me." She said these 3 words while looking at little Xiao, who was 3 inches below Lu Tingxiao's navel. After returning to the living room, she had already thought things through. She said to Lin Zhizhi, "Sister Zhizhi, it's okay. I didn't think it through. I wanted to fight for it because I liked the script so much. Of course, I was prepared for it. Since things have already turned out this way, I'll just choose another script. It's no big deal." That was how the entertainment industry was. How could everything be smooth sailing? She quickly regained her spirits. Seeing that she was in a good mood, Lin Zhizhi was relieved. "You don't have to rush. You have just finished the tiring publicity period. Take a good rest these few days. Before receiving the new show, I will arrange some newcomer shows and interviews for you. Here is the relevant information. See which ones you are interested in." "All right, thank you, Big Sister Zhizhi." After saying goodbye, he was about to see Lin Zhizhi off. Lin Zhizhi stood up and suddenly said, "Ningxi, can I borrow the bathroom?" Ningxi was shocked. "No, what's wrong?" Lin Zhizhi didn't understand. Ningxi's brain worked quickly, and she hurriedly said, "I just found that the toilet is blocked. Then I'll go to the public washroom downstairs." All right. Finally, Lin Zhizhi was safely sent away. Ningxi was about to collapse. As expected, there was a price to pay for breaking a promise. She's really going all out just to date. However, this was not the end. There is still the great Demon King waiting to be fed. "I'm back." Ningxi hurriedly skipped into the bathroom and pulled open the bathroom curtain. "Boss, come out quickly. Sister Zhizhi has already left." With that said, he scratched his head and muttered, or do you want to do it right here?" Lu Tingxiao's answer was to reach out his long arm, grab her waist, and bring her into the bathtub. He pulled her into his arms and said in an unusually low and husky voice, "Here." Chapter 742. Oh, and Ningxi had been talking nicely just now, but when it came to the end, she felt a little nervous and didn't know where to put her hands. "Boss, can you wait for me a little longer?" Lu Tingxiao. Ningxi looked at Lu Tingxiao's eyes that were almost spitting fire and coughed lightly. "I just want to find some materials to learn how to operate it." Ouch. How shameful. She had just said that she was going to help him, but now she was backing out before she even started. But now her mind was really blank, and she needed to recharge. The next second, there was a click sound, which seemed to be the sound of a belt being unbuckled. That sound was like an ambiguous catalyst in the quiet and narrow space, instantly igniting the air. How could Lu Tingxiao allow her to leave at this time? He directly grabbed her hand and pressed it against the part of his body that was about to explode. The sweat on his forehead, which had been suppressed for too long, fell on the girl's fair and delicate fingers with a plop sound. It was like hot oil, as if it could burn people's skin. The man's voice was unusually hoarse. "You don't have to look for it. I'll teach you, like this." When her palm touched a man for the first time without any obstruction, Ningxi felt that her palm was about to catch fire. In the end, she didn't have the confidence to help him anymore. Her whole body was stiff as a stone, and it was completely the devil who had grabbed her hand. After a long time, Lu Tingxiao held a hot towel in his hand and carefully wiped the girl's little hand. Are you okay? Ningxi looked bitter. It's sore. I feel that my hand is going to be crippled. How sad. Her leg was already crippled, and now her hand was going to be crippled too. Alas, who asked her to be so reckless as to say that she wanted to help? It turned out that she had underestimated the devil's ability. She was too naive. She suddenly didn't dare to imagine how miserable she would be on the day of the real battle. Lu Tingxiao kissed her hair. At this moment, the man's expressionless face had a kind of languid look like a wild beast that had just eaten. His indifference and alienation were also tainted with the scent of desire. He looked 10,000 times more seductive than usual, and Ningxi was stunned. Damn, the devil's beauty was really out of this world. He could even evolve and level up. He felt that it was worth it even if he had to break his hand to win the beauty's heart. Sure enough, dying under a peony flower and becoming a ghost would still be romantic, afraid that the bathtub would be cold. Lu Tingxiao carried Ningxi to the bed and lay beside her, gently hugging her and talking to her. What does Lin Zhizhi want from you? At the mention of this, Ningxi's expression immediately became gloomy. It's nothing. It's bad news for me, but good news for you. Do you still remember the script that I really liked? And it took me a lot of effort to convince you to let me act in it? I remember. That's the one. It's blown. Didn't you always say you didn't want me to do that? Lu Tingxiao nodded. MHM. It was indeed good news. There were too many dangerous scenes in that film. Although a stunt double could be used for many scenes, Ningxi would definitely do it herself. Ningxi glanced at the man grumpily. Sigh, she felt that the great Demon King must really have magic powers. She still clearly remembered what Lu Tingxiao had said to her at that time. It's just me now. If you fail the audition, I won't open the back door for you. Do you understand? Now it was even worse. She didn't even have the audition, and she had already lost the chance. Chapter 743. Looking at her disappointed face, Lu Tingxiao ruffled her hair and looked at her. Fortune and misfortune come hand in hand. There will be a better one. Ningxi thought he was just trying to comfort her. She heaved a long sigh, still immersed in the regret of missing out on the drama that she had been longing for. Actually, even if she was given a chance to audition, with her leg injury, it would be a tragedy if she had to audition for an action scene. Perhaps it really wasn't meant to be. Fortune and misfortune come hand in hand. She hoped the devil would bless her, seeing that she was in a bad mood. Lu Tingxiao said softly, I'll take you out to play tomorrow. Ningxi's eyes lit up. Really? What are we going to play? Horse riding, skiing, parachuting, flying in the sky, or racing? Lu Tingxiao glanced at her quietly. Enjoy the scenery. Ningxi, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the scenery. Ningxi suddenly felt hopeless. Okay. As long as I can be with Mr. Boss, I'll be happy even if it's just watching TV. Ningxi immediately tried to please him. Otherwise, she might not even have a chance to enjoy the scenery in the future. Good girl, rest early. I'll pick you up tomorrow morning. Okay, good night. On the way back. Lu Tingxiao was driving when his phone rang. Lu Tingxiao looked at the name Mo Lingtian on the screen. He put on his Bluetooth headset and answered the call. Hello. An excited voice came from the other end of the line. Lu Tingxiao, we're having a bachelor party with all our friends. Are you coming tomorrow? Lu Tingxiao answered without hesitation, no. Xiao is back in China. It's a welcome party for her. Don't tell me you won't give her face. Mo Lingtian was speechless. Lu Tingxiao said another day. The next week was a critical period for him. He couldn't afford to waste time on unnecessary things. Mo Lingtian was unwilling to give up and continued to persuade him. There will be a lot of pretty girls this time. There will be a lot of girls like she too. There will be girls prettier than her. You don't have to hang on to one tree, do you? If you can't get her, find another one. You don't have to take things too hard. Lu Tingxiao said no. Mo Lingtian was furious. Damn it, you're really not coming? I already told him that you would come over. What are you doing cooped up at home all day long? Not to mention that you have to go to work. There's nothing going on in your company recently. After Mo Lingtian finished shouting, Lu Tingxiao calmly said, I don't fit your theme. What do you mean? What's not in line with the theme? Mo Lingtian asked in confusion. Lu Tingxiao, I'm not single. Mo Lingtian, after a few seconds of silence, an earth-shattering roar came from the other end of the phone. Fuck me. Lu Tingxiao, you actually hid it from me and got yourself a girlfriend just like that. Do you still have any humanity? You traitor. Mo Lingtian's tone was filled with hatred, as though he wanted to burn him to death. It had only been a few months since he heard that he had a girl he liked. At that time, he felt that the world was a fantasy. However, he never expected that this was not the most shocking thing. At this moment, Lu Tingxiao actually told him that he actually had a girlfriend. Lu Tingxiao, who had been a bachelor for 10,000 years, was no longer single. He could no longer understand this world. Mo Lingtian said angrily, No, you have to come. Why don't you bring her along? You can introduce her to everyone. Anyway, I can't be the only one who gets hurt. Obviously, the last sentence was the main point. Lu Tingxiao, I'm not free tomorrow. Mo Lingtian, don't be perfunctory. If you're not free, what are you going to do? Lu Tingxiao, go on a date. Mo Lingtian. Chapter 744. The next morning, Lu Tingxiao went to pick Ningxi up. When he saw the girl standing at the door, his expressionless face suddenly cracked a few cracks. Ningxi usually dressed more casually. She would even put on a male outfit for convenience. In the end, she actually wore a fluffy pink dress with a thick white down jacket on the outside. The big hat of the down jacket was inlaid with very warm fluff. Her originally lazy and slightly curly long hair was straightened with a little inner button. She wore the pink crystal hairpin that Xiaobao had given her previously and a pair of snow boots with rabbit ears on her feet. In short, he was like an extremely obedient little white rabbit. Because this outfit was so different from her personality, Lu Tingxiao could not help but find it hard to describe. Ningxi hopped over and held Lu Tingxiao's arm. Lu Tingxiao, am I cute? Isn't it cute and adorable? Lu Tingxiao coughed lightly and looked at the girl's cherry blossom-like lips. You're cute. Why did you think of how to wear it? Because this is our first official date, of course. We have to dress up more formally. Lu Tingxiao was speechless. It was indeed very formal. After they went downstairs, Cheng Feng got down from the car and opened the door for them. When he saw the little bunny beside Lu Tingxiao, Cheng Feng almost vomited blood. What the heck? Did the lady boss eat the wrong medicine today? This outfit was simply too adorable. Cute, girly, and coquettish. It was not like her personality at all. Those who did not know would definitely be killed by her cuteness, but those who knew her would definitely be shocked half to death. Cheng Feng, who obviously belonged to the latter, wiped his sweat and calmed himself down before driving the car to the Lu family's private helipad. Ningxi looked at the helicopter in front of her. We still have to take a plane? Where are we going? We'll be there soon. Lu Tingxiao held her and carefully got into the helicopter. Indeed, in less than 20 minutes, the helicopter landed on an empty field. They had just landed when a sightseeing car came to pick them up. The sightseeing car was very comfortable and luxurious. The scenery along the way was also very good, making one feel much better. Not only that, along the way, Ningxi also saw nearby golf courses, a horse ranch, a hot spring, a shooting range, and even a ski resort. Roar! So many of them were things she loved to play with. He was almost drooling. When Lu Tingxiao saw that her head was about to reach out of the window, he reached over and pressed her onto his shoulder. Ningxi tugged on his sleeve and looked at him tearfully. Big boss, it's so fun here. There's so much fun. Are we really just going to look at the scenery? Lu Tingxiao replied. Lu Tingxiao, did you hear that? Lu Tingxiao asked, what? Ningxi replied. The sound of a heart breaking. Lu Tingxiao sighed softly when he saw the girl droop her head like a frosted eggplant. He told the driver, go to the race course. Ning, she was speechless. Ride, 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 ride. She also liked to ride horses. After she got off the sightseeing bus, Ning, she looked at the stable not too far away, and her wolf blood boiled with excitement. She wanted to choose the wildest one. Not far away, there was already a group of men and women with extraordinary status in the stable. They were choosing horses under the hospitality of the owner. At this moment, a handsome man suddenly stared in their direction, as if he had seen a ghost. Damn! Lu Tingxiao. Chapter 745. Lu Tingxiao didn't know what to say when he saw the man and the group of people opposite him. He didn't expect Mo Lingtian's bachelor party to be held here. What? Mo Lingtian. Who did you say? Lu Tingxiao. Where's he? Didn't he say he wouldn't come today? Ah, it seems to be Lu Tingxiao. With Mo Lingtian's earth-shattering roar, all the men and women looked towards the direction of Ning Shi and Lu Tingxiao. Then, sure enough, they saw Lu Tingxiao in a black suit standing there coldly. Beside him was a soft and cute girl in a fluffy pink dress. What the hell is that? What's going on? They actually saw a cute girl who looked like a little white rabbit, holding Lu Tingxiao's arm intimately. They looked at each other and were all dumbfounded. Suddenly being stared at by so many people, Ning, she was also quite confused. She blinked her eyes and rubbed herself against the great Demon King's chest. Lu Tingxiao stroked the girl's hair and comforted her. Mo Lingtian's mouth twitched. He glanced at his friends and said quietly, "Didn't you ask me why Lu Tingxiao didn't come today? Well, you see, this is the reason. This bastard has betrayed the organization and has a girlfriend." Damn! Mo Lingtian, what did you say? Lu Tingxiao has a girlfriend? How was that possible? Are you sure it's not Lu Tingxiao's sister? What sister? I don't remember my cousin having such a sister. At this time, a girl hurriedly walked up to Lu Tingxiao and looked warily at Ning, she beside Lu Tingxiao. Cousin, who is this? Your future sister-in-law. Lu Tingxiao said calmly and then looked down at Ning Shi. She's my cousin, Lu Xinyan. Hello, Ning Shi greeted her briefly. She didn't seem to be very friendly to her, so she didn't need to be too enthusiastic. Lu Xinyan was completely stunned. My future sister-in-law? Cousin, is she really your girlfriend? Why would his cousin find such a soft and weak little bunny as his girlfriend? She couldn't imagine that Lu Tingxiao, with his taste, would actually like this type of woman. At this moment, a woman walked over from behind Lu Xinyan. The woman was wearing a handsome black riding outfit with a whip around her waist and riding boots on her feet. She was even leading a particularly vigorous black horse in her hand. She looked valiant and formidable. She stood in front of Lu Tingxiao and Ning Shi, glanced at Ning Shi, and then looked at Lu Tingxiao. Tingxiao, long time no see. Ning Shi looked at the woman in front of her and narrowed her eyes. Her sixth sense as a woman suddenly emerged. There was something wrong with this woman. Lu Tingxiao's expression didn't change in the slightest, and his tone was also calm. Welcome back. The woman looked at Ning Shi, who was next to him, with an oppressive gaze. Aren't you going to introduce us? My girlfriend Ning Shi, Lu Tingxiao said and introduced her to Ning Shi. Guanziao. There is only a name and no special introduction. Ning Shi blinked her eyes innocently, looked at Guanziao, and greeted her, hello. Anyway, she hid in Lu Tingxiao's arms and didn't say anything. She had changed her makeup, and even her personality was extremely professional, like a little white rabbit. Looking at the girl's obedient appearance, even though he knew it was just a facade, Lu Tingxiao's heart still softened, and his eyes were extremely gentle. Chapter 746. After getting an affirmative answer from Lu Tingxiao, basically everyone on the stage was already dumbfounded. She really was Lu Tingxiao's girlfriend. They had discussed countless times what kind of woman would be able to make him fall for this man who was as cold and emotionless as an ascetic monk who did not get close to women. Gentle and virtuous, or noble and elegant. Dignified and generous, or gentle like water. Or maybe she was a strong woman like Lu Tingxiao who dominated the business world. He had thought of countless possibilities, but he had never thought that the woman that Lu Tingxiao had taken a fancy to was actually a silly little white rabbit. Such a soft little thing was obediently sticking to the cold and arrogant Lu Tingxiao. Although it was incomparably strange, they clearly noticed that when this girl was by Lu Tingxiao's side, his usual cold temperament became much gentler. Especially when his gaze fell on the girl, it was not an exaggeration to say that his gaze had turned into spring water. It was the moment to witness a miracle. I've lived long enough to see it. I didn't expect to live long enough to see what the woman who won Lu Tingxiao's heart is like. This girl's type is really hard to describe. Isn't that right? I never expected Lu Tingxiao to like this type. I'm so angry. I thought Lu Tingxiao liked like-minded women, or at least mature and dignified ones. I had to pretend to be cold in front of him. In the end, he actually likes a weak little bunny. Sop. This doesn't make sense. What is Lu Tingxiao thinking? The two of them are not compatible at all, okay? This kind of woman only knows how to act cute and coquettish. She has no inner qualities. Sai, what do you women know? This kind of woman can arouse a man's desire to protect her. No matter how cold Lu Tingxiao is, he's still an ordinary man. Bullshit. Lu Tingxiao is not an ordinary man. Amidst the women's cries and men's discussions, Imo Lingtian walked towards the two with a face as black as the bottom of a pot. Damn, Lu Tingxiao, didn't you say you weren't coming today? Lu Tingxiao replied, accident. The corner of Imo Lingtian's mouth twitched slightly. Who knew that the place of their bachelor party would collide with the place of Lu Tingxiao's date? It was really fate that they could not escape this abuse. Sigh. I used to think that no matter who betrayed me, you would never betray me. Lu Tingxiao, you really disappoint me too much. Imo Lingtian said hatefully. Ning, she was speechless. Wasn't he cursing Lu Tingxiao to be single for the rest of his life? However, the fact that Lu Tingxiao was the first to leave singlehood was probably quite shocking for this group of people. Since we happen to bump into each other, why don't we play together? Imo Lingtian invited. Guanxiao also said, it's been a long time since we rode together. Shall we have a race? Yes, let's fight. Imo Lingtian said eagerly. Lu Tingxiao lowered his eyes and looked at the girl in his arms. You guys play. She doesn't dare to ride alone. Imo Lingtian's face was full of black lines. That's enough. Give a single dog a way out. Guanxiao's face froze slightly, and she looked coldly at Ning, she who was ignorant of the world. Ning Shi, on the other hand, was crying silently in her heart. She didn't dare to ride alone. The devil was obviously worried about her. He was afraid that she would be unrestrained and wanted to keep an eye on her. Chapter 747. After greeting them, Lu Tingxiao took Ning Shi to choose a horse. When the owner of the horse farm saw that Lu Tingxiao had actually brought his girlfriend over, he was overwhelmed by the unexpected favor. He hurriedly led the two of them to the best horses in the farm. Mr. Lu, what do you think of this one? It's a purebred horse imported from the British Royal Horse Farm. The owner introduced enthusiastically. Wow, so handsome. Ning Shi's eyes lit up as she stared at the black horse that was as black as ink. Purebred horses originated in the UK and dominated the world for their speed in short and medium distances. They were recognized as one of the best horse breeds in the world, and the one introduced by the boss was even better than the one in Guanxiao's hand. Seeing Lu Tingxiao looking around the stable without saying anything, the owner looked at Ning Shi and asked, Miss Ning, do you like it? Ning Shi nodded. I like it. Lu Tingxiao, I'll take this one. It would be great to run. She couldn't wait. Finally, Lu Tingxiao's eyes fixed on a brown horse in the corner of the stable. Bring that horse here. That one. Mr. Lu, are you sure? The owner looked hesitantly at the brown horse that was much shorter than the other horses. Soon, the owner brought the horse over. Lu Tingxiao touched the horse's head, and it rubbed against the back of his hand docilely. Lu Tingxiao nodded. This one, At the side, Ningxi was dumbfounded. Lu Tingxiao, isn't this an American pony? Lu Tingxiao glanced at her indifferently. What? Is there a problem? Ningxi was about to cry. Of course there was a problem. American ponies were for kids. Not far away, Imo Lingtian, who was racing with Guanziao, caught a glimpse of Lu Tingxiao's colt. He lost control and almost fell off the horse. Ha ha! Lu Tingxiao, what kind of horse did you choose? Oh, I can't take it anymore. I'm dying of laughter. In the end, Imo Lingtian even stopped the race. He held his stomach and laughed at them on the track. In front of them, Guanziao also turned around and rode her tall, pure-blood horse towards them. Looking at Imo Lingtian's ridicule, the big horses he and Guanziao were riding, and then looking at her own pony, Ningxi was so angry that she almost cried. What a bully! Lu Tingxiao's heart softened at the sight of the little girl's aggrieved expression. He pinched his brows, walked over, and carried her by the waist. Then he walked toward the handsome black British purebred horse. After sending Ningxi onto the horse, Lu Tingxiao followed her and held her in his arms. Are you satisfied? Finally, she got what she wanted. Ningxi pulled the reins and touched the horse's head. She was so happy that she immediately turned around and kissed Lu Tingxiao's face. Guanziao's expression was extremely ugly as she looked at the two people on the horse. Imo Lingtian, on the other hand, looked as if he had been blinded. Damn! Even if you beat me to death, I would never have thought that there would be a day where Lu Tingxiao would coax a girl. Guanziao looked indifferent. She doesn't deserve Lu Tingxiao. Imo Lingtian coughed slightly. That's true, but love is not a matter of whether she deserves him or not. Besides, although he had only seen this woman once or twice, it seemed that she was not as simple as a white rabbit. Chapter 748. Go on. Guanziao slapped Imo Lingtian's butt. After one lap, they reached the finish line. Guanziao won. Imo Lingtian hung his head dejectedly. Can't you give me some face? Lu Xinyan cheered and looked at Guanziao with admiration. Sister Xiao, you're so awesome. Why do you know everything and do everything so well? You're even better than men. Besides my cousin, you're the best man around me. Lu Xinyan took a look at Ningxi, who was in Lu Tingxiao's arms, and said, You and my brother are a match made in heaven. Is my brother blind or something? I thought my brother wouldn't be as shallow as those stinky men. How could he be cheated by such a beautiful woman? Hearing Lu Xinyan's words, Guanziao didn't speak, but her face became colder. The others looked at each other and obviously agreed with Lu Xinyan's words. Lu Xinyan was Lu Tingxiao's cousin, so she could say these words. But they didn't dare to say anything wrong about Lu Tingxiao. The woman Lu Tingxiao fell in love with this time was really disappointing. If they had to choose a woman who was worthy of Lu Tingxiao, it must be Guanziao. Speaking of Guanziao, she grew up with Lu Tingxiao and Imo Lingtian. Her family was very close. In their circle, she was as popular as Lu Tingxiao. She was the goddess of many childs in the capital. Many young men chased after her. However, she was only nice to Lu Tingxiao and Imo Lingtian. Moreover, her character was the most compatible with Lu Tingxiao. Both of them were the kind of unbelievably perfect heavens chosen. Back then, everyone thought that she would end up with Lu Tingxiao, but they didn't expect that because of the relocation of her family's business, the goddess's entire family had migrated abroad 7 years ago. After stunning everyone, she disappeared from everyone's sight just like that. Over these years, the Guan family's overseas business grew bigger and bigger. People often heard about the legend of this woman. She got a master's degree at a young age and was as capable as her brother. This time, because the two elders of the Guan family were old and missed their hometown, the whole family returned to China. Guanziao naturally came back with them. Everyone had thought that Guanziao and Lu Tingxiao's relationship would be more or less settled. Both of them were unmarried, and both of them were at a suitable age for marriage. Their personalities were compatible, and their families were well-matched. Many people even thought that Lu Tingxiao hadn't married for so many years just to wait for Guanziao. Who knew that the plot would suddenly take a turn, and Lu Tingxiao would actually be taken care of by a little white rabbit? Everyone's eyeballs almost popped out of their sockets. This relationship is like a joke. Isn't it too casual? What was even more unbelievable was that they had heard from Imo Lingtian that the other party seemed to be an unknown little celebrity. After riding the horse, Lu Tingxiao carried Ningxi down and didn't let her walk on her own. Fearing that the road would be slippery in the snow, he carried her all the way to the rest area. She even has to carry me when she's walking. Brother, you're spoiling her too much. Lu Xinyan couldn't stand it anymore and complained. Lu Tingxiao's answer was to carefully put Ningxi on the chair and then pour her a cup of hot milk. He blew on it himself and then brought it to her mouth. Be careful, it's hot. Lu Xinyan's face darkened. Chapter 749. The others all coughed, lightly one after another. Damn it was a rare sight. Who said that Lu Tingxiao was heartless? That was because he hadn't met anyone who could soften his heart. She was getting more and more curious. What was the charm of this little rabbit? How could she charm a man like Lu Tingxiao like this? Ningxi naturally noticed that the surrounding people were feeling sorry for Lu Tingxiao, as well as a cold gaze falling on her from beginning to end. She glanced at Guanziyao from the corner of her eye. Then she rested her chin on her hand and asked Lu Tingxiao, "What's your relationship with Guanziyao?" "Our families were close when we were young. We grew up together," Lu Tingxiao answered honestly. Ningxi drawled, "You two are childhood sweethearts?" Lu Tingxiao nodded. "Sort of." Ningxi was furious. "Hey, Lu Tingxiao, I'm jealous. Can't you see? You don't even know how to coax me. How dare you say it?" Lu Tingxiao was stunned. "Are you jealous? Of course your friends, brothers and cousins all think that you are a good match for Guanziyao. They think that you're a beautiful flower stuck in a pile of cow dung." Ningxi mumbled. She hadn't thought about it before, but now that she thought about it, she finally remembered who this Guanziyao was. The Guan family used to be as famous as the Lu family in the capital. Later, they had to turn to the overseas market because of some problems in the domestic business. It was said that they had made a comeback in recent years. Guanziyao, in particular, had many legends about her. She was a talented woman, a beauty, and a woman who was not inferior to men. She was indeed a good match for Lu Tingxiao. Immersed in the surprise brought by Ningxi's jealousy, Lu Tingxiao stared at her and said with a smile in his eyes, "How can you be cow dung? You are the sea and the forest." Ningxi tilted her head and didn't understand. "Why?" Lu Tingxiao tucked a strand of her hair behind her ear. His deep eyes were like stars. He said quietly, "I love you like a whale diving into the sea, like a bird diving into the forest. It's inevitable. There's no way back." In an instant, Ningxi felt as if thousands of fireworks had exploded in her mind. The great Demon King's whisper of love skill was too savage. At this time, a sudden ear-piercing sound came from not far away. The teacup in Guanziyao's hand accidentally fell to the ground. Lu Xinyan asked with concern, "What's wrong, Sister Xiao?" Guanziyao shook her head with a pale face. "Nothing." They couldn't hear the conversation between Lu Tingxiao and Ningxi from this distance. However, she could read lips and was paying attention to their conversation. Like a whale diving into the sea, like a bird diving into the woods. Lu Tingxiao actually said such words to such a woman. Imo Lingtian didn't notice the undercurrent between them. After resting for a while, he walked to Lu Tingxiao and Ningxi. "Hey, Lu Tingxiao, we're going to the shooting range to shoot a few times. Do you want to join us?" "Shoot! Shoot!" Bang, 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 bang. Ningxi's eyes were almost as bright as 500-watt light bulbs. He couldn't ride a horse with a leg injury. "Is it okay to just use your hands to shoot?" Okay, I know. I shouldn't have asked you." Imo Lingtian turned to Ningxi again. "Little rabbit, do you want to go?" Ningxi nodded like a chick pecking rice. Her eyes were shining as she shook Lu Tingxiao's sleeve. "My dear master, can I go?" Lu Tingxiao, "Okay." Chapter 750. After arriving at the place, she was quite surprised. She didn't expect the nearby shooting club to be so large, with an area of more than 1,500 square meters. There were 2 standard multi-purpose shooting ranges, each equipped with 9 professionally designed shooting lanes and a full range of firearms. There was also a small arms exhibition hall in the shooting range, displaying hundreds of small arms such as pistols, rifles, machine guns, and so on. Occasionally, he would see a few soldiers in military uniforms playing here. She looked left and right without paying attention to the road. If Lu Tingxiao hadn't been holding her hand, she might have hit her head on a pillar. Lu Tingxiao's cousin said that Lu Tingxiao spoiled her, and she was right. Now she was so spoiled by Lu Tingxiao that she basically didn't use her brain when she went out. Anyway, she just needed to be a pet and follow him obediently. When they arrived at the shooting range, Mo Lingtian immediately picked a gun and looked as if he wanted to avenge himself. Xiao, come on. Let's PK. I lost to you in horseback riding, but I can't lose to you in shooting. Count me in. Me too. Mo Lingtian's group consisted of more than a dozen people. Half of them were male, and half 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 were male and female. Soon, everyone picked their guns, put on goggles and headphones, and stood in front of the shooting lane, ready to shoot. The next second, with the sound of bang, 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 everyone's score appeared on the scoreboard in front of them. The full score of each shot was 10 points, and the scoreboard was accurate to 1 decimal place. Most of them hit 8 or so rings, and occasionally a few of the more proficient men hit 9 or so rings. Lu Xinyan got 92 points at once, and she was very happy. I actually got more than 9 points. I'm so lucky today. However, when she turned around, she found that Mo Lingtian and Guan Ziyao's scores were even more amazing. Mo Lingtian and Guan Ziyiao got the same number of points. Both of them got 99 points, which was already a very high score. Wow, Brother Tian, Sister Xiao, you two are so awesome. Finally, the scores of all 3 shots were out. Mo Lingtian got 99 points, 97 points, and 98 points. Guan Ziyiao got 299 points and 197 points. She was ahead of Mo Lingtian by 0.1 points. At the same time, Guan Ziyao's score was the highest among all of them. The people around her were all amazed. As expected of my goddess. That's awesome. Xiao, how can we men endure this? Mo Lingtian's face was full of resentment. Damn, he actually lost again. This time doesn't count. Again. Everyone burst into laughter. Ha ha. Mo Lingtian, stop struggling. Out of all of us, I think only Brother Xiao can beat Xiao. Mo Lingtian turned around to look for Lu Tingxiao. Lu Tingxiao. What are you doing? Come and play with us. In the end, the rabbit ears on Ningxi's snow boots had fallen off, and Lu Tingxiao was squatting there to help her put them back. Looking at the scene full of pink bubbles, Mo Lingtian's mouth twitched incessantly. It was really a scene of torturing dogs. Ningxi listened to their conversation and looked at Lu Tingxiao in surprise. Boss, are you good at shooting? Come, let's PK. After that, she excitedly pulled Lu Tingxiao to the front of Papa Dao. Yo, little rabbit, you know how to shoot too? Mo Lingtian raised his eyebrows in surprise. She snorted. Of course I know. I'm very good at shooting. After that, she picked up the gun and shot with a bang. A moment later, a bright red. 63 points appeared on the scoreboard. That was really good. Chapter 751. Looking at the terrible number of points, she was immediately dumbfounded and said with a sad face, "It must be my clothes today that affected my performance." Mo Lingtian laughed on the spot and comforted her. Not bad at all. At least you hit the target. Lu Tingxiao rubbed the girl's head and shot a shot himself. 62 points. It was a little lower than Ningxi's. Mo Lingtian patted Lu Tingxiao's shoulder, shook his head and sighed. Bro, I'm convinced. This is probably the most difficult score you've ever scored in your life, right? Lu Tingxiao actually scored 62 points. This was even more shocking than his score of 10 points. Ningxi ignored Mo Lingtian's teasing and rubbed against Lu Tingxiao happily. "Boss, you're so nice." Lu Tingxiao was about to speak when his cell phone rang. It was the landline number of the old mansion. Lu Tingxiao frowned and then turned to Ningxi. "You play. I'm going to take a call." Then he winked at Mo Lingtian, motioning for him to take care of Ningxi. Mo Lingtian waved his hand disdainfully. "That's enough. It's just a phone call. Let's go." As soon as Lu Tingxiao left, those who had scruples because of Lu Tingxiao's presence began to talk louder. "Pooh, I'm dying of laughter. The girl who doesn't even know how to shoot got 7 points. How can she say she's good at it?" Lu Xinyan was speechless. A girl next to her shrugged and said, "It's not bad for her. At least she didn't miss the target. I'm surprised that she could hit the target. How on earth did Lu Tingxiao fall in love with such a good-for-nothing woman? I'm really curious. Can any of you go and ask around?" "I won't go. I'm just polite to her for Lu Tingxiao's sake. How can I take the initiative to get close to her? I'm more like a fool." Ningxi listened to those people's discussion and continued to wipe the handle of her gun calmly. These people were the most noble heirs in the circle of the capital. They were either the heirs of a tycoon or the princesses of a high-ranking official's family. Because of Lu Tingxiao, it was already good enough for them to be polite to her. In any case, if people don't offend me, I won't offend them. At this time, someone looked at Guan Ziao and said, "Ziao, you and Mo Lingtian have a good relationship with Brother Xiao. If you have time, try to persuade him. Don't let him be fooled by such a woman. Time reveals a man's heart. I believe he will understand it himself," Guan Ziao said. "Why are you so stupid? By the time he realizes what's going on, he'll have already been cheated of his money." Lu Xinyan's face was burning as she listened to everyone's conversation. She felt so embarrassed. She really couldn't accept it no matter how hard she tried. The cousin who was as perfect as a god in her memory was actually tainted and deceived by such a woman. In extreme anger, Lu Xinyan finally couldn't hold it in anymore. She got up and walked to Ningxi. She said angrily, "I don't care how you seduce my brother. Say it. What do I have to do for you to leave him?" When Mo Lingtian saw that the situation was getting out of control, he hurriedly ran between the two of them to smooth things over. Hey, what are you doing? What was going on? Everyone came out to have fun. It's not good to quarrel. Stop fooling around." "I'm not messing around. Which part of this woman is worthy of my brother?" On the other side, Mo Lingtian was busy persuading Lu Xinyan. Ningxi touched the gun in her hand and blinked innocently. Then, she said innocently, "Leave your brother? It's very simple. You just have to defeat me." Chapter 752. What did you say? Defeat you? Lu Xinyan was dumbfounded and didn't understand what Ningxi meant. Mo Lingtian was also stunned. Ningxi blinked her eyes and said with an innocent expression, "Shoot, I don't think you guys like me very much, so how about this? No matter who you are, as long as you can beat me in shooting, I'll break up with Lu Tingxiao, but if I win, please be polite to me when you see me in the future, huh? Didn't all of you want to save Lu Tingxiao from the fire? Okay, I will give you a chance." Hearing Ningxi's words, everyone on the spot was stunned. Well, what did this woman just say? Was she crazy? It was not easy for her to climb up to Lu Tingxiao and do what all the women in the capital couldn't do. Now, just because of a moment of impulse, she actually broke up with Lu Tingxiao as a bet. They had thought that these small celebrities were very tactful and knew how to read people's expressions. If they had the slightest bit of intelligence, they would not look for trouble. Unexpectedly, she turned out to be a brainless one. She was so stupid. They really felt sorry for Lu Tingxiao. Mo Lingtian never thought that things would develop to this point. He was almost crazy. "Little rabbit, what are you doing? Bear with it. When Lu Tingxiao comes, you can act coquettishly and let him vent his anger for you. Why do you have to do this? Do you really want to break up with Lu Tingxiao? Are you stupid?" Others didn't know, but Mo Lingtian was very clear that Lu Tingxiao didn't play around. He really cared about this little girl. Although he didn't understand what was so special about this little girl, since it was his brother's choice, he had nothing to say. Lu Xinyan finally digested Ning Shi's words and couldn't believe it. How could this woman be so stupid? She thought it would be difficult to deal with her. It was too easy to solve, wasn't it? Are you serious? Lu Xinyan was worried and confirmed with her again. Yes, really. Ning Shi nodded. Okay, that's settled. Let me tell you, I have recorded what you said just now. Don't try to deny it. Lu Xinyan looked proud. Then let's start. Ning Shi suddenly said, wait. What? Are you regretting it? Lu Xinyan's face darkened. I'm just explaining again. What I said just now was that any one of you can beat me. So, pick one of you to compete with me. Ning Shi said, I know. I will compete with you. Lu Xinyan obviously did not put her in her eyes at all. A pretty face who got 63 points, it was more than enough for him to beat her. You'd better think carefully. I advise you to send your best fighter to compete with me. Otherwise, don't say it's unfair. Ning Shi's words made everyone speechless. Where did this idiot woman's confidence come from? Lu Xinyan looked impatient. Just when she was about to say that she could do it, Guan Ziao walked over and pressed on her shoulder. Xinyan, let me do it. Lu Xinyan looked at Guan Ziao and frowned. Sister Ziao, you don't need to deal with this kind of person. You think too highly of her. Guan Ziao said lightly, it's better to be safe. Lu Xinyan thought about it and felt it made sense. It would be bad if there was an accident in such a good opportunity. Besides, she wanted Guan Ziao to do it herself. Sister Ziao was the most qualified person to teach this idiot woman a lesson. Chapter 753. Mo Lingtian was anxious. After all, he had just promised Lu Tingxiao that he would take care of Ning Shi. He didn't care about Lu Tingxiao's excessive nervousness. He didn't expect that Lu Tingxiao just went out to make a phone call, and the little girl could make such a scene in just a few minutes. No, that's ridiculous. Mo Lingtian had to stop her. Guan Ziao glared at Mo Lingtian and said, Lingtian, don't get involved in this matter. How can I stay out of it? Ziao, this girl is not sensible. Don't make trouble, Mo Lingtian advised. Then Ning Shi curled her lips and said discontentedly, she's not sensible. I'm serious. At this moment, Mo Lingtian just wanted to bang his head on the ground. Damn it, let me die. I've been trying my best to speak for you, but this girl is still courting death. The woman that Lu Tingxiao fancied was indeed hard to understand with a mortal's way of thinking. Brother Tian, as you can see, she was the one who suggested this from the beginning. None of us are messing around. This is a matter between us women. Stay out of it. Lu Xinyan was afraid that Mo Lingtian would ruin it, so she hurried to pull him aside. For a moment, except for Mo Lingtian, who was burning with anxiety, everyone looked like they were watching a good show. However, it seemed that there was nothing interesting to watch because the result was too obvious. I think no matter how stupid this woman is, she can't be so stupid. Is she pretending to be weak? Someone murmured hesitantly. Puff, how could she pretend to be weak? Even if she made a mistake just now, so what? Now, it wasn't Lu Xinyan, but Guan Ziao herself. I'm afraid that Guan Ziao didn't use her full strength when she was fighting with Mo Lingtian just now. That's right. This woman is going to be struck by lightning. You first, Ning, she said. Guan Ziao didn't say much. She directly put on the goggles and headphones, and then raised the gun neatly and aimed at the target in front of her. The woman's posture was very standard. She must have practiced for many years. Lu Xinyan glanced at Ning Shi and snorted, You're really reckless. Sister Ziao has been playing with guns for almost 10 years, and you still dare to play tricks in front of Sister Ziao? Sister Ziao, you can do it. Guan Ziao closed her eyes and took a deep breath, as if she was preparing her emotions. Even though Ning Shi seemed to be vulnerable on the surface, she couldn't allow any accident to happen to Lu Tingxiao. At this moment, everyone was holding their breath, not daring to make a sound. Lu Xinyan also quieted down, not daring to speak. On the side, Ning Shi leaned on the table, propped her chin up, and yawned. After a while, Guan Ziao finally opened her eyes again. The next second, bang, 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 3 gunshots rang out in succession. After the gunshot, everyone rushed over to see Guan Ziao's score. In the end, everyone was stunned by what they saw. First round, 99. Second round, 10. Third round, 10. He actually scored 99 points and 2 full 10 points. That's amazing. That's comparable to the professional level in the army. My God. Sister Xiao, you're so awesome. You're so awesome. You're my idol. Lu Xinyan was very excited. Chapter 754. Even Mo Lingtian was dumbfounded. Damn it. Guan Ziao, you're such a beast. Do you have to do that? In order to make Ningxi leave Lu Tingxiao, she even gave such a high score. If he remembered correctly, it was the first time that she had given such a high score. Thinking of this, Mo Lingtian's face darkened, and he took a deep look at the woman holding the gun. Although people always like to put Guan Ziao and Lu Tingxiao together, he knew that they were just friends for so many years because he was familiar with them. However, after Guan Ziao returned to China, he suddenly became uncertain. Guan Ziao's attitude towards him was developing in a direction that he didn't want to believe. Ziao, you're amazing. How did you do it? You're amazing. Everyone was amazed. At the same time, when they looked at Ningxi, they were naturally waiting for a good show. They wanted to see how this woman would deal with it. Lu Xinyan walked up to Ningxi like a victorious rooster and said proudly, "Did you see that? One of them has 99 points and 2 of them have 10 points. What else do you have to say?" Ningxi looked up and glanced at her. "I have nothing to say." That's good. Remember what you said. Break up with my brother. We have so many witnesses." Lu Xinyan wasn't afraid that Ningxi would go back on her words. She didn't believe that Ningxi would be so thick-skinned. If Ningxi went back on her words this time, she wouldn't be able to survive in Lu Tingxiao's circle in the future. Mo Lingtian's face darkened. "It's just a game. Don't take it too seriously. You can't talk about breaking up." Lu Xinyan stamped her feet angrily. "Brother Tian, what's wrong with you? You've been defending this woman." Guan Ziao also frowned and looked at Mo Lingtian unhappily. Mo Lingtian gritted his teeth and ran up to Ningxi. "Tell everyone that you're just joking. Do you really want to break up with Lu Tingxiao?" Ningxi curled her lips. Of course not. If she wasn't Lu Tingxiao's woman, Mo Lingtian would have given her a good scolding. He suppressed his anger and said, "Now that you know not to think about it, what were you doing earlier? I tried to persuade you just now, but you didn't listen to me. That's good, isn't it? Hey, you can't go back on your word once you've agreed. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude to you in the future. How can a shameless person who goes back on her words be qualified to be my sister-in-law?" Mo Lingtian complained about Ningxi as he tried to come up with a solution, but Lu Xinyan still didn't give up. The scene was a mess. In the next second, everyone suddenly fell silent. Lu Tingxiao was back. After seeing Lu Tingxiao, Lu Xinyan's eyes lit up. She went up to him and said quickly, "Big brother, this woman just made a bet with us. She said that if we beat her in shooting, she would break up with you. She had already lost to Sister Ziyao. I lost you. This woman actually used you as a wager. She's simply too much." "What?" Lu Tingxiao's face turned cold after hearing Lu Xinyan's words. "Oh, it's over. Why do I get caught every time I do something bad?" Ningxi's face was full of bitterness. She had been watching Lu Xinyan and the others jumping around lazily, but now she hurriedly stood up and shot 3 shots at the target behind her without even looking at it. Bang, bang, bang. Then she threw the gun away and threw herself into Lu Tingxiao's arms. She blinked and raised her little head, saying fawningly, "How could I lose you?" As soon as he finished speaking, the scoreboard behind him rang with a ding. On the scoring device, the following words were written: 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. Chapter 755. The little girl looked at him with sparkling eyes as she said, "Lu Tingxiao, am I awesome? Praise me, praise me." Praise me. Lu Tingxiao's face was gloomy. She had gotten herself into trouble time and time again, yet she still wanted him to praise her. Yes, you're awesome, Lu Tingxiao said. All right, he still couldn't resist the girl's expectant eyes for praise. Looking at Ningxi's scoring machine with 3 tens and Guanxiao's scoring machine with 199 and 2 tens, Lu Tingxiao pinched his eyebrows. This last was really bold. However, even with such a temper, he was extremely fascinated just now when she fired 3 shots and threw herself into his arms to coax him to say, "How could I lose to you?" His heart was pounding uncontrollably. Sigh, really, she had him in the palm of her hand. In order to increase the entertainment, the scoring machine in the shooting club had some special settings. For example, when she scored 3 tens in a row, there would be celebratory music, and it would also announce to the audience that a certain shooting range had scored full marks consecutively. Therefore, when Ningxi fired 3 shots without even looking, there was a burst of celebratory music and announcement. Not only Lu Xinyan, Imo Lingtian, Guanxiao, and the others, but the other guests in the shooting range were also alarmed. The setup of the shooting range was very professional, and it used real guns and bullets. Usually, most of the people who came here were shooting enthusiasts or even people from professional armies. Under such circumstances, the probability of encountering 3 consecutive 10 points was very small. It was something that could only be encountered by chance. One could imagine what kind of uproar Ningxi's 3 tens had caused. When Guanxiao scored that high score just now, they were stunned. Now that they saw Ningxi's score, they were completely dumbfounded. Imo Lingtian looked as if he had seen a ghost. What? Are you fucking kidding me? Guanxiao's face was blank, as if she couldn't accept this result. Lu Xinyan rushed over and hugged the scoring machine. How could it be? Is there a problem with the scoring machine? There must be a problem. Where's the person in charge of the club? Let him come and see this machine. Ningxi rolled her eyes speechlessly, picked up the gun again, and fired 3 more shots. A few seconds later, the celebratory music sounded, and the loudspeaker in the stadium announced again. Shooting field number 2, track 9, 10 rings, 10 rings, 10 rings. Imo Lingen, Lu Xinyan, Guanxiao. If those who heard the broadcast just now were exclaiming that a powerful person had come to the club, they were basically dumbfounded now. Fuck, what was going on? Which immortal was this? Was he here to challenge the dojo? Even an extremely skilled professional would not be able to consecutively hit 10 rings with 3 consecutive shots in such a short period of time. At this moment, there were already quite a few people who couldn't sit still. One after another, people ran over, wanting to see who exactly was this person. Hey, you guys are also here to see who the person on the radio is? Yes, yes. Too awesome. Could it be that he's from some army? I don't know. On the 9th target, there seems to be only a little girl in a pink dress standing there with a gun. Did that guy finish shooting and leave? Just as everyone was feeling suspicious, a middle-aged man in his 40s or 50s suddenly walked over from behind. Although he was dressed casually, his posture was straight, and his face was cold. He was accompanied by a young soldier. Go and ask who fired those shots just now. The middle-aged man ordered the soldier beside him. A strange light flashed in his cold and resolute eyes. Yes, sir. Chapter 756. It was another 3 consecutive shots of the 10th ring. Imo Lingtian swallowed his saliva with difficulty. He looked at the little white rabbit's expression as if the little white rabbit had suddenly turned into a prehistoric giant beast in front of him. While he was panicking, he suddenly heard someone calling him from behind. Young Master Imo, young Master Imo. Imo Lingtian turned his head and saw a young soldier in uniform. He looked a little surprised. Hey, aren't you Uncle Zhuang's guard, Xiaochun? Yes, yes. Xiaochun nodded hurriedly. What's wrong? What's the matter? Imo Lingtian asked. Well, I have something to ask you. Young Master Imo, have you been here the whole time? Xiaochun asked. Yes, I've been here the whole time. That's great. Do you know who shot the 10th ring on a 9th target just now? Xiaochun asked hurriedly. Imo Lingtian suddenly raised his eyebrows, and showed a look of understanding. It turned out that he was here to ask about this. Of course I know. Look, it's the girl in front, Imo Tian said, looking like he was watching a good show. Girl? Xiao Chun immediately showed a look of surprise when he heard that. Imo Tian nodded calmly. Yes, you're already so shocked when you know it's a girl. When you know which girl I'm talking about, won't you be scared to death? Which lady is it? The one in black. Xiao Chun looked around the crowd and asked Guan Ziao. Imo Tian smiled. Wrong. The girl wearing a pink skirt, a white down jacket, and a pair of bunny ears snow boots. Pink skirt, white down jacket, bunny ears snow boots. As Xiao Chun said that, he fixed his eyes on a girl who was snuggling up to a tall, cold-looking man. Then, he looked at Imo Tian, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Young Master Imo, don't play with me. The chief personally ordered me to come and inquire about this. Don't joke with me. Who's playing with you? Imo Tian paused. Your chief is here today? Yes, he came here to entertain a few friends. When he heard the broadcast on the radio, he left everyone behind and ran here. I haven't seen him so excited for a long time. Xiao Chun looked helpless. Imo Tian subconsciously glanced behind him and saw a burly middle-aged man standing there with his hands clasped behind his back. Who is it? Young Master Mo, please tell me. Was it the man beside the girl in the pink dress? Isn't that the president of the Lu group, Lu Tingxiao? Xiao Chun asked curiously. Imo Tian smiled mysteriously. Didn't I tell you? It's that little white rabbit. With that, he patted Xiao Chun's shoulder. I'll go greet your bureau chief. Xiao Chun stood there speechlessly, subconsciously turning his head to look at the cute little girl. How could that be? If that little white rabbit could hit the 10th ring with 6 consecutive shots, he would be able to join the Snow Leopard Commando team. Imo Tian walked up to the middle-aged man and greeted him enthusiastically. Uncle Zhuang, long time no see. Ling Tian, are you here to play with your friends? Yeah, Uncle Zhuang. I heard from Little Chun that you are looking for someone? Yes. The middle-aged man nodded and glanced at him. Do you know him? Of course I do. Imo Tian said, pointing in Ning Shi's direction. It's the little girl beside Lu Tingxiao. Do you see him? I just told Xiao Chun, but he didn't believe me, so I had to come and tell you myself. Chapter 757. That little girl? The middle-aged man pondered and asked, how old is she? What does she do? Is she in school? What does her family do? Imo Tian's mouth twitched. Uncle Zhuang, what are you trying to do? Although you have a son, isn't Xiao Guang only 18 years old? Isn't it too early for you to find a daughter-in-law? The most important thing is this little girl already has a boyfriend. She's Lu Tingxiao's girlfriend. Lu Tingxiao has a girlfriend? The man's expression froze. No one knew what he was thinking. Yes, we just started dating. Imo Tian nodded. The man looked thoughtful. After a while, he said, Ling Tian, help me ask that little girl if she's interested in joining the army. Uff. Imo Tian almost spat out his saliva. So that's what he's thinking. But that's even more impossible. Imo Tian immediately said, Uncle Zhuang, don't even think about it. Lu Tingxiao spoils her like she's his apple. He's afraid that she'll get tired and has to carry her when she walks. He's also afraid that she'll fall when she rides a horse. He even tells me to take good care of her when he goes out to make a phone call. How is it possible for her to join the army? Besides, she's just dressed up to look young. She graduated from university long ago and is now an actress. So the possibility of her joining the army is basically zero. When the middle-aged man heard this, a look of regret appeared on his face. What a pity! Imo Tian was speechless. His dad had said that Zhuang Liaoyuan couldn't move once he saw someone who was good at shooting. It seemed that it was true. He even wanted to poach Lu Tingxiao's girlfriend. While Imo Tian was talking to Zhuang Liaoyuan, Ning, she picked up her gun again. Thus, Zhuang Liaoyuan immediately stared in the direction of the girl. Bang! 6 rings, bang. 3 rings, bang. 3 rings, bang. 2 rings. Mo Lingtian looked at Ning Shi's messy shots. His eyeballs almost fell out. That's not right. Uncle Zhuang, I'm not lying to you. She really shot 10 rings 6 times in a row. Maybe her performance wasn't stable. She also got a score of 6 a few times before. Damn, was this last playing with him? What the hell was this fight? She almost gave him a heart attack. However, Zhuang Liaoyuan didn't seem to care at all. Instead, his eyes became brighter and brighter as Ning Shi fired one shot after another. After the last shot, Zhuang Liaoyuan couldn't help but laugh out loud. Interesting. This young lady is really interesting. Mo Lingtian, on the other hand, was confused. How is that interesting? Why couldn't he tell? Just as he was looking over, he saw that after Little White Bunny was done with the fight, she scooted over to Lu Tingxiao's side with a fawning expression. She even made a heart sign with her little hands and said to Lu Tingxiao, I know I was wrong. Salong, hey yo, Lord Boss, fuck, it's a heart. Then someone exclaimed as he stared at the target paper Ning she had just hit. Mo Lingtian also looked at the target paper, and then he also exclaimed, oh my god. The trajectory of Ning Shi's bullets was really the trajectory of love. Fuck, how? Is this a little white rabbit? What a freaking monster. No wonder Lu Tingxiao was so smitten by her. Chapter 758. Zhuang Liaoyuan looked at the target paper with a nostalgic and melancholy expression. This girl is really interesting. Back then, I used this trick to woo my wife. Mo Lingtian was surprised. I didn't expect it. Uncle Zhuang, you were so good at flirting with girls. Of course. Zhuang Liaoyuan's solemn face showed a trace of imperceptible pride. It was just that he was old now, and he had to control his subordinates. So he had no choice but to always put on an old-fashioned and strict look. When he was young, he was also very romantic. Lingtian, introduce me to this girl. I want to get to know her. Zhuang Liaoyuan suddenly said. Mo Lingtian said, okay, Uncle Zhuang, come with me. Well, he still didn't give up? Forget it. Let Lu Tingxiao solve this problem himself. Mo Lingtian couldn't refuse, so he led Zhuang Liaoyuan to Lu Tingxiao and Ning Shi. Seeing the middle-aged man beside Mo Lingtian, Lu Tingxiao's eyes flashed with a trace of sadness. Mr. Zhuang, nephew Lu, how is your father recently? Thank you for your concern. My father is fine. Good. Zhuang Liaoyuan was probably an impatient soldier. After a few words, he couldn't wait to look at Ning Shi beside Lu Tingxiao. Little girl, did you shoot the 10 rings with 6 consecutive shots just now? Seeing that the other party was a timid little girl, Zhuang Liaoyuan, who was usually solemn and cold, spoke in a very gentle tone. He even bowed slightly. Ning Shi glanced at Lu Tingxiao subconsciously and then nodded. Although the man talking to her was dressed in casual clothes and looked very kind, the iron-blooded temperament of a soldier couldn't be concealed. Moreover, it was obvious that he was in a high position. Therefore, Ning Shi's attitude was inevitably cautious. She didn't say anything and wanted to see what the other party meant. Good. Little girl, you're very good. How many years have you been practicing shooting? Zhuang Liaoyuan continued to ask. I haven't practiced much. I just play when I want to, Ning Shi answered truthfully. Zhuang Liaoyuan was stunned, and the light in his eyes became brighter. Little girl, you're very talented. Do you like shooting? Ning Shi nodded. Yes. Then, do you want to play shooting every day? Zhuang Liaoyuan's voice became gentler. Xiao Chun, who was standing at the side, was speechless when he saw the bureau chief, who was usually terror-stricken, trying to coax a young lady. In her European talents, the bureau chief was really going all out. Lu Tingxiao sensed Zhuang Liaoyuan's intention. He pulled Ning Shi into his arms and coughed softly. Mr. Zhuang. Zhuang Liaoyuan coughed, straightened up, took out a business card from his pocket, and handed it to Ning Shi. Little girl, if you want to play shooting in the future, you can come to me. This shooting range is not suitable for you. You need a more professional one. More professional? She glanced at the red and black business card and asked tentatively, "Is it the shooting range in the north?" Zhuang Liaoyuan nodded. "Yes." She's eyes suddenly lit up. That was the most professional shooting range, a national one, and ordinary people couldn't get in. "I hope we will have the chance to meet again," Zhuang Liaoyuan said, and left with a face full of regret. After the man left, she looked at the business card, which only had a name and mobile phone number. She asked suspiciously, "Zhuang Liaoyuan, who is this person?" Chapter 759. Zhuang Liaoyuan. Who's this guy? Why do the names sound so familiar? One of your rivals in love? Zhuang Ku'er's father. Do you understand now? Mo Lingtian, who was at the side, said as if he wanted to see the world in chaos. He had heard that the Zhuang family wanted to match Zhuang Ku'er with Lu Tingxiao, but it was no longer possible. He didn't expect to bump into Zhuang Liaoyuan here today. Zhuang Liaoyuan almost stole Lu Tingxiao's girl. However, there was an upside. Now that Zhuang Liaoyuan knew that Lu Tingxiao had a girlfriend, he probably wouldn't consider matchmaking them anymore. What? Zhuang Liaoyuan? The legendary Major General? I heard that he was the chief sniper in the Special Forces when he was young. His father, General Zhuang Zongren, was also a great marksman. There were a few sharpshooters in the family. Yeah, unfortunately, Zhuang Liaoyuan's son and daughter didn't join the army. It's probably a sore spot for him, especially his son. He's famous for being a spoiled brat in the capital. He's always causing trouble at such a young age. The Zhuang family has such good genes. Did his genes mutate? Hearing the discussions around her, she finally knew who this middle-aged man was. Zhuang Ku'er's father, Zhuang Liaoyuan. Her blood-related uncle? What a coincidence! There would be no stories. Outside the shooting club, Zhuang Liaoyuan got into a military SUV. He looked a little distracted. After a moment of silence, he said to the guard next to him, "Xiao Chun, help me look into that girl's background." Xiao Chun nodded. "Yes, sir." Zhuang Liaoyuan looked at the rapidly retreating background outside the car window and sighed. He looked a little lost. The Zhuang family had been in the army for several generations. His daughter, Zhuang Ku'er, had no interest in firearms or military matters. She was trained by her mother to be a noble lady. His son, Zhuang Rongguang, was even more useless. He wished he hadn't been born. Now that he saw a girl with such shooting talent, he was excited and envious. He wondered who her parents were. In the shooting club, she was staring at the business card. Suddenly, her hand was empty. Lu Tingxiao took it. She puffed up her cheeks and looked up. "Lu Tingxiao, why did you take my name card?" "You don't need to. If you want to go, I'll take you there," Lu Tingxiao said expressionlessly. She knew what he was thinking and couldn't help laughing. "Don't worry. My biggest hobbies in this life are acting and you. I won't be seduced into the army. How can I bear to leave you?" "MHM." The great demon king was satisfied with Shi's answer. Seeing that the two of them were in love with each other, and she was unexpectedly favored by Zhuang Liaoyuan, Lu Xinyan was unwilling to give up. "Brother, even if she wins this time, it's a fact that she used you as a stake. This woman does not respect you at all. He didn't take you seriously at all." "Brother, have you ever thought about what would happen if she loses?" Lu Tingxiao looked at her coldly and then said expressionlessly, "I'll come back myself." Lu Xinyan's face darkened. Mo Lingtian staggered and almost fell down. Lu Tingxiao's answer was too fucking good. Guan Xiao, who was standing at the side, bit her lower lip. Lu Tingxiao's attitude towards this woman had reached the point where he had no principles at all. She was so touched that her eyes welled up with tears. Oh. She'll go back herself if she loses. The great demon king is so heartwarming. For the great demon king, she would be obedient and never cause trouble again. Chapter 760. Lu Xinyan's face darkened and she was speechless. Lu Tingxiao's gaze suddenly turned extremely cold. He looked at her and said, "If my introduction wasn't clear enough, then let me say it again. She's your cousin-in-law. Watch your attitude. He had introduced her as his future cousin-in-law, but now she was his cousin-in-law. It was equivalent to indirectly saying that he would marry this woman. It was a warning to Lu Xinyan and everyone else. After saying this, Lu Tingxiao turned around and left with Ning Shi. Behind him, Lu Xinyan's face turned pale. His brother was serious. He wasn't just fooling around. Was he really going to let this woman marry him? At this moment, because of Ning Shilu's amazing skills, everyone's attitude had changed subtly. As expected, I shouldn't have doubted Master Xiao. This girl is really amazing. No wonder she has Lu Tingxiao under her thumb. Isn't that right? Her marksmanship, TSK. It's amazing. I remember very clearly that the first time, that woman didn't wear headphones or goggles. She didn't even look at the target. The second time, she didn't aim at all and casually fired 3 shots. Her flirting skills were even better. In the end, even Major General Zhuang was alarmed. Is that woman really just an ordinary actress? Who knows? What's so great about her? Although she's not completely useless, that's all she's capable of. Lu Xinyan muttered and held Guan Xiao's arm. Sister Xiao, don't lower yourself to her level. She's just a little trick to bluff people. Guan Xiao's face was solemn. It seemed that she had underestimated that woman. But soon, the woman's face returned to its usual pride and indifference. This time, it was just a mistake because she had underestimated her opponent. After Lu Tingxiao left, Mo Lingtian quietly observed Guan Xiao's expression. His gaze changed again and again. Finally, he pulled her to a corner. What's the matter? Guan Xiao asked with a frown. Mo Lingtian put one hand on his waist and the other on his forehead. He paced around a few times and said angrily, I should be the one asking you that. What's wrong with you? Your behavior today is really too strange. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? Don't tell me you have feelings for Lu Tingxiao. Mo Lingtian unconsciously clenched his fists. Haven't you always treated him as a brother? That's because the timing wasn't right before. So you really like Lu Tingxiao? Mo Lingtian's face changed instantly, and his tone became stern. But now he has a girlfriend. What do you want to do? Do you want to be a third party? She's just your girlfriend. I have the right to compete fairly. You're crazy? For a moment, Mo Lingtian felt as if he had never known the person in front of him. Guan Xiao's expression did not change. I'm just taking back what belongs to me. Ever since she could remember, there was only one person in her eyes. That was Lu Tingxiao. They had the same high IQ, the same hobbies, and the same family background. All of these made them seem like a match made in heaven. Therefore, she was not in a hurry at all. She had always thought that they were destined to be together since they had such a tacit understanding. Therefore, even after leaving for so many years, she had never doubted this. But he didn't expect, as soon as she returned to the country, the thing that she had been sure of until now actually changed like this. But it didn't matter. She would reverse this accident. Chapter 761. After leaving the shooting range, Lu Tingxiao and Ning, she stopped at the edge of a vast expanse of white and empty snow. After being disturbed for so long, they could finally return to the world of the two of them. Not far away, they could vaguely see a small house with a glass dome. Behind the glass house was a cedar forest. On the path beside the house, there was a cute Alaskan dog pulling a sleigh. After getting out of the car and seeing the scene in front of her, Ning, she was amazed. Wow, it's so beautiful here. It's like a fairy tale world. There's a chance to take you to a real fairy tale world. The resort here was built to imitate a Finnish igloo. At this time, the sky had begun to snow. Lu Tingxiao wrapped her in a thick blanket, then carried her by the waist and walked in the direction of the house. After opening the door and entering, Lu Tingxiao carefully put her down. The room was covered with a large, warm, white velvet blanket, and opposite it was a fireplace that was burning, emitting warm steam. On the carpet opposite the fireplace was a short table. On the short table, there were already hot delicacies. There was crab and peanut butter salad, banana and lemon egg tarts, Mexican cheese pancakes, camembert cheese, guacamole roast beef, Vietnamese rice paper salmon rolls. The whole table was filled to the brim. After playing for half a day, she was already hungry. She was tempted by the aroma. Lu Tingxiao took out a bouquet of red roses wrapped in brown retro lamb leather and handed it to her. "This is for you." She blinked and took it, feeling flattered. She sniffed it and a cold fragrance wafted in her nostrils. The bouquet of red roses looked like they had just been cut from the branches. There were still drops of dew on the petals, and they looked full of passion and vitality. She suddenly thought of the flower language of red roses. Red roses seemed to represent passion and love. Lu Tingxiao looked at the girl holding the bouquet of red roses. Her face was more beautiful than the flowers. "Do you like it?" She nodded and looked up at the glass ceiling. It was warm inside, but she could see the snow outside. "I like it. It's so romantic. Why is it so grand today?" She was a little confused. "Today is the 5th anniversary of our relationship," Lu Tingxiao replied. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, there were only 2 days left of the 1-week period. "Oh, why is it the 5th day? Does it have any special meaning?" She didn't understand what the great Demon King was thinking. Didn't other people commemorate 100 days, a year, or 3 years? What does the 5th day mean? Lu Tingxiao: "For me, every day that I've known you is special." Shi: "Very well, my king. You win this round." The delicacies prepared by the great Demon King were all very delicious. She rubbed her round belly. She had shamefully eaten too much. After dinner, she hugged the blanket, warmed herself by the fire, and snuggled in Lu Tingxiao's arms lazily. Recalling what had happened today, she couldn't help sighing. "Lu Tingxiao, I suddenly find that I have so many rivals in love. Zhuangke just left, and here comes Guan Ziao." Lu Tingxiao glanced at her indifferently and said, "More than me? One word, instant kill." "Of course not. Nonsense. You don't have many rivals in love." She refused to admit it. "Do you want me to count for you?" The scariest thing was that he not only had to be wary of men, but also women. "Ahem, no need. All right. She didn't dare to complain about having so many rivals in love anymore. Update over Little Angel's Goodnight. Snowy World Thomas spins 3.5 rounds asking for tickets. Chapter 762. Late at night, Platinum Palace. After Lu Tingxiao sent she back to her apartment. He received a call from Mo Lingtian as soon as he got home. The person on the other end of the phone could tell that he had drunk a lot just by listening to his voice. His words were a little unclear, and he insisted on calling him over to his house for a drink. Then, halfway through his shouting, he heard a bang, and then there was no sound. It seemed that he had fallen. Lu Tingxiao frowned. He had no choice but to drive to Mo Lingtian's house. As soon as he arrived at the door, he saw Mo Lingtian lying in the snow by the door. If he didn't come over, he would probably lie there for the whole night. Lu Tingxiao pinched his eyebrows and lifted him up. However, as soon as Mo Lingtian was lifted up, he put his mouth on Lu Tingxiao's body with the smell of alcohol. "Ziao, Ziao." Before Mo Lingtian kissed him, Lu Tingxiao said, "Do you want to die?" Hearing the cold voice, Mo Lingtian sobered up instantly. "What the fuck? It's you." Then he muttered with dissatisfaction, "I just kissed you. Don't look so chaste. I'm not a woman." Lu Tingxiao loosened his collar and helped him into the house impatiently. Mo Lingtian lay on the sofa like a dead fish, looking at the chandelier above his head blankly. "Lu Tingxiao, you know I like Xiao." Lu Tingxiao glanced at him but didn't speak. "Hey, that's nonsense. Back then, I even retired early for her sake because I was afraid that she would be snatched away by you when I wasn't around. But the truth is, even if I stayed by her side all the time and even followed her abroad, she still wouldn't be mine." When Guan Ziao's family moved abroad, he immediately went through the procedures to transfer to another school and stayed abroad for 3 years. It was not until his family urged him to come back that he finally came back. During this period, He often went abroad to see her and never stopped contacting her. It was not easy for her to endure until she returned home, but what she got in return was utter despair. Mo Lingtian talked for a long time and finally looked at Lu Tingxiao and asked, "Do you like Wuxiao? If Little Rabbit didn't exist, would you be with her?" Mo Lingtian looked a bit nervous. "No." Lu Tingxiao didn't look hesitant. Mo Lingtian clenched his fists. "Really? Do you dare to say that you have never liked Ziyao? You two are so compatible in every aspect. I've never liked anyone before I met her." As for his feelings for Guan Ziyao, it was no different from his feelings for Mo Lingtian. Mo Lingtian naturally knew that the Shilu Tingxiao spoke of was that little rabbit. "You're really cruel." Ziyao's gaze was fixed on him from start to finish. She had treated him as her biggest rival in love, but in the end, this guy was still an outsider. However, Lu Tingxiao's attitude ignited a glimmer of hope in him. While Mo Lingtian was lost in thought, Lu Tingxiao took out a palm-sized black leather notebook from his bosom and threw it into Mo Lingtian's bosom. Then, Lu Tingxiao turned around and left. "What's this?" Mo Lingtian casually picked up the book and opened it to have a look. In the next second, his eyeballs almost popped out of their sockets, and his expression when he held the book was like he was holding the Bible. The book was densely packed with Lu Tingxiao's strong and familiar handwriting. The content of the book actually pointed out the major mistakes he had made in pursuing Guanziyao all these years. Damn, this guy is so quiet. When did he do this? Of course, he didn't think that this guy did it because of brotherly love. He even took care of Little Rabbit's rival in love. This is really amazing. Fuck. Why didn't you remind me earlier? In the villa, Mo Lingtian roared at the top of his lungs. Chapter 763. Today was Saturday, and the school was closed. Little Bowsy woke up early and rummaged through all his clothes. It took him more than 2 hours to look through his clothes. Lu Jingli, who had arrived earlier, leaned against Little Bowsy's door and yawned. "Baby, why do you take longer to change clothes than a girl? Also, what's the meaning of those sticky notes on your clothes?" Every time Little Bowsy rummaged through a set of clothes, he would stick a sticky note on it and write a number on the sticky note. It was so confusing that no one could figure out what this little guy was thinking. Little Bowsy naturally ignored his uncle and kept rummaging through his clothes and sticking sticky notes on them, and so on. After another half an hour, the little guy finally chose the one with the largest number on the sticky note from a pile of clothes. Seeing Little Bowsy change into a very handsome blue suit, Lu Jingli twitched the corner of his mouth and turned to his brother. "Brother, it is said that a woman's heart is like a needle at the bottom of the sea, but your Little Bowsy's heart is like a needle in the Mariana Trench." Lu Tingxiao glanced at the numbers on those clothes and said calmly, "Those numbers represent the number of times Ningxi kissed him when he wore those clothes to see Ningxi." Lu Jingli, very good. This is Little Bowsy. He probably couldn't figure out the answer no matter how hard he thought about it. What made him even more speechless was that Lu Tingxiao could even understand this. He really was his biological son. After changing his clothes, Little Bowsy immediately ran to Papa, raised his little head, and looked at him with sparkling eyes, indicating, "Papa, I'm ready. I could go to Xianxia." Lu Tingxiao looked down at his son and said lightly, "I'll take you to Grandpa and Grandma today. Aunt Xiaoxi has something to do today." Little Bowsy's little face suddenly froze. A bolt from the blue was nothing more than this. Lu Jingli was amused by the little guy's expression and laughed unkindly. "Brother, you're so cruel to your son. He changed clothes for 2.5 hours before you said the one he was going to see was not his beloved Aunt Xiaoxi. What's the difference between this and happily opening a New Year's gift bag only to find that it's a 3-year simulation of a 5-year college entrance examination paper?" Little Bun expressed that his young heart had been seriously hurt. He turned around and was about to run back into the house. At this time, Lu Tingxiao behind him said, "Tomorrow is the weekend. Aunt Xiaoxi will come to our home with your master." Hearing this, the little Bun, who had an expression of "I don't believe in this world anymore," immediately regained his vitality. Thus, Lu Tingxiao smoothly led Xiao Bao out of the door. Before leaving, the three of them were about to get into the car when Lu Tingxiao suddenly stopped in his tracks and said to the old butler behind him, "Uncle Yuan, eldest young master, what are your orders?" Lu Tingxiao said, "Go get Xiao Bao's bear." Bear? The old butler thought Lu Tingxiao had something to tell him, so he was confused. Finally, under Lu Tingxiao's orders, the old butler and two servants carefully tied the big bear that Xiao Bao had won as a prize in the parent-child activity to the car. "Damn, brother, what are you playing at this time? What's the point of bringing this gigantic bear back to the old house?" Lu Jingli touched his forehead and really felt that when he was with his brother, it was really a test of his intelligence. Chapter 764. Old Mansion. Oomph. None of you would have remembered to come back if I hadn't called to urge you, right? In the living room, Lu Chongshan's face was filled with anger when he saw his two sons. However, when his eyes landed on the little darling in Lu Tingxiao's hand, his expression instantly became as gentle as it could be. "Xiao Bao, you're here." Yin Rui didn't even notice his two sons and went straight to Xiao Bao. "Xiao Bao, it's been so long. Did you miss Grandma? Where's Grandpa? Did you miss Grandpa?" Lu Chongshan asked, unwilling to back down. Ever since Xiao Bao's fever didn't subside and they promised to hand him over to Lu Tingxiao, they hadn't seen him since then. Xiao Bao looked at Grandpa and Grandma before writing 2 words on a writing board. Think, one for Grandma and one for Grandpa. It was extremely fair. When the two elders saw Xiao Bao write the word think, they instantly felt better than taking a miracle pill. At the dining table, Lu Chongshan and Yin Rui kept putting food into Little Bao's bowl. Little Bao's bowl was already piled up like a mountain. At least Lu Tingxiao was occasionally asked about Xiao Bao's daily life, but Lu Jingli was completely invisible. "Mom, I say, why did you ask me to come back? You haven't even looked at me once since just now," Lu Jingli said with an aggrieved expression. Yin Rui smiled at Xiao Bao, who was eating obediently. "Why would I look at you? What's there to look at?" Lu Jingli, is she really his biological mother? So he was just a passerby? A son without a son was like a blade of grass. After dinner, Lu Jingli was finally of some use. Yin Rui and Lu Chongshan asked Lu Jingli to take Xiao Bao to play in the yard and asked Lu Tingxiao to stay alone. The two elders didn't look too good. One look, and it was obvious that they were going to criticize him. Yin Rui said with disappointment, "Tingxiao, if Xenyan didn't call us yesterday, how long were you going to keep this from us? I knew I shouldn't have let them take Xiao Bao away. Now look at you." Lu Chongshan complained as he looked at Yin Rui. That woman must have used Xiao Bao to get close to her son during this period of time. That was why the two of them could develop so quickly. Can you blame me? At that time, Xiao Bao was already like this. Just as the two of them were having a discussion, they suddenly saw Xiao Bao running over. Aside from that, there was a huge furry bear beside Xiao Bao. Lu Jingli poked his head out from behind the bear, panting, "Oh my God, it's so heavy. I'm exhausted." This is... Lu Chongshan and Yin Rui stared at one another in confusion. This is Xiao Bao's first time participating in a parent-child activity in school, and I won the first prize. It's very memorable, so I wanted to bring it over for Grandpa and Grandma to see, Lu Tingxiao said calmly. As soon as he said that, the two old men, who were at loggerheads just a moment ago and couldn't wait to bring Xiao Bao back, were instantly filled with pleasant surprise. It's true. Our Xiao Bao is really awesome. I even wanted to bring it over for Grandpa and Grandma to see. Lu Jingli, all right, he finally knew what this bear was for. It was obvious that his parents were going to criticize him after finding out about his relationship with Ningxi. In the end, they had only just begun when their son threw a bear at them. Chapter 765. During this period of time, Yin Rui had refrained from seeing Xiao Bao out of guilt, while Lu Chongshan had the mentality of, I don't care, I want to see what you can do with Xiaobao. In the end, Xiaobao turned out to be better than they had imagined. It was obvious that the little guy had put on weight again, and his energy had recovered. They were most worried that Xiaobao would not adapt to school life, or that he would be bullied by other kids because he didn't know how to talk, which would make him more antisocial. In the end, none of their worries happened. After being interrupted by Lu Tingxiao, the two of them were so immersed in the joy of Xiaobao adapting to school life that they forgot about the important matter. After the father and son left, Yin Rui couldn't help but say anxiously, "What should we do now that things have developed to this stage? Should I go to Ningxi directly? That's the worst thing to do. You know your son's temper. Touching that girl is the last resort. The best way is to let your son change his mind. Then are we just going to watch and do nothing? Originally, I thought that this girl was a sensible girl who knew that I was wrong. If she really didn't want anything, how could she have developed to this stage with Ting Xiao? Why are you panicking? Isn't it just a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship? How strong do you think this relationship is? Maybe after they get together, the novelty will wear off and they will break up. Besides, Xiao has returned to China, and your son isn't blind. He will know what to do." Lu Chongshan showed a rare relaxed expression. "Right? Xiao. And Xiao. I'm so silly." Yin Rui was relieved to hear that. She said with a happy expression, "Luckily, Xiao came back in time. I watched her grow up. At that time, there were so many ladies in the industry, but she was the most outstanding one. She was a good match for our Ting Xiao in every way. If her family hadn't suddenly moved overseas 7 years ago, they might have gotten together a long time ago. I wouldn't have to worry so much. After all, it's a fortune-telling, a horoscope test, and a blind date. How can it be compared to someone who knows everything? That's right. Besides, they are unmarried, so it's not too late now. We don't need to do anything. We just need to create a chance for them. Then let's have dinner with the Guan family this weekend. As the man sighed, we should take the initiative. We can also find out what the Guan family is thinking." Yin Rui immediately suggested, "There's no need to find out. Old One has already spoken to me on the phone. From his tone, I'm sure he has the same idea as us," Lu Chongshan said proudly. Yin Rui was overjoyed. "That's great. Shall I give Ting Xiao a call now?" "Yes." Yin Rui immediately dialed his son's number. "Hello, Ting Xiao. Mom, what's up? I forgot to tell you that your Uncle Guan's family is back, right?" "Yes." "Go and book a suitable restaurant. Let's find a suitable time to treat them to a meal as a welcoming dinner." Yin Rui tried her best to speak in a normal tone. "All right." Just as Yin Rui hung up, Lu Chongshan immediately asked with a nervous expression, "How is it?" "Well said, son." He agreed. Yin Rui was overjoyed. Lu Chongshan looked as if he had expected it. "What do you think?" "I told you. Sigh. If I succeed this time, then I'll have one less thing to worry about, that you're tuning into the eternal Immortal Ballad YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.